isn't just toxic white males. It's toxic femininity brought to you by Midnight's Edge.
It's Monday night on YouTube, and you are in the place to be with me, Tom Connors, the announcer, whatever you, MC of Toxic Femininity. And with me is three of the most lovely women in the Fandom Menace. We have with us Lorena Creel. How you doing?
I'm doing very well, Tom, and glad to be here with you, the ladies, and everyone here in our wonderful chat.
Awesome. And we also have with us Mandy, as always. How you doing?
Like what? Hey, y'all, it's Monday. I sound better this week, don't I? Like, what? It's Monday, y'all.
You always sound great.
So, yeah, we got a really good show tonight. We got a lot of really good articles and stuff to talk about. So it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. And Mary's dealing with some weather and internet issues, so hopefully she'll be back with us next week. But no worries. We have with us tonight Miss Jane Theory. How you doing?
Hello. I'm doing fantastic. Very happy to be here today.
Very glad to have you back. Yes.
Yeah, Jane came in for us, so
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Hope you're doing well. So yeah, we got lots of fun stuff to talk about here tonight, so I'm not going to waste too much time for these ladies. They've got a lot of neat stuff to get on to, but we do have a couple super chats just before we get into the news.
Right.
Roger Haynes sent us a thumbs up sticker. Thank you so much for that. And
Thank you.
we've got another super sticker here from L Punk Tracy, I think is how you say that. And it is a devil horn little smiley face guy.
Aw,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you so much for those. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the festivities. You guys got some Star Wars High Republic news to talk about, some Dragon Age news to talk about, and maybe even some Harry Potter news to talk about. So without further ado, I think we should probably get into it. What do you guys think?
Let's do this.
We're not going to waste any time whatsoever at all.
Okay, folks. So as you know, or maybe some of you don't know, some drama popped off over the weekend with regard to a young lady known as Christina Ariel. And she is the host of a show centered around the High Republic. So you two ladies are familiar with the High Republic series from Star Wars, correct?
Yes.
We're
Unfortunately,
so excited.
yeah, unfortunately, we are familiar with that dumpster fire. But
Yeah. You think that they would have just put it out there and just said, you know what? Please check it out. Give it a chance. Maybe you'll like it.
Mhm.
But
No.
that's not.
No.
No.
No, they decided to go a different route. It's got us talking, but it's different.
Yeah.
This lady was like, white people are evil.
Right?
I'm trying to picture which monster face that would have, actually.
I picture this lady.
because it's very ugly. There's no other way. There's no other way to put it. How this came out. If you saw the tweets, if you saw people responding to it, if you saw articles out there, again, it's another ugly face attacking the fandom. Okay.
Mhm.
No, I'm not saying she's ugly before some people start losing their mind, getting their knickers in a knot. No. What I'm saying is that the attitude and the outlook is very, very ugly, because it used to be that, the fandom was a fun, happy place.
Mhm.
Even if some people didn't necessarily like the fandom, they weren't attacking the fandom. And unfortunately, this has become par for the course coming from Lucasfilm.
No, this is exactly what they've been doing. They hire these absolutely, well, they're ugly on the inside people to work, and they just get online and they just spew the most disgusting, nasty stuff that they can. And that's what they're into now. I mean, they even they stand with her. They made the big tweet. We don't like bullying. We don't like this. I don't know what else you could call what she's doing, but they don't look at it like that. So I guess this is what they do now.
I mean, what do you do what do you get when you mix Disney, which has a very long history of not particularly caring about racism at all in their content, and this new Lucasfilm staff who basically hate the fandom? They hate the original fans, they hate the original series, and they are inherently divisive and somehow, for some reason, see profit from it. You combine those two things, and this is what you get week after week of their employees and the individuals who they work with attacking the very people who they depend on for their financial future. It doesn't make any logical sense, and yet they continue to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, it's just it's mind-boggling. And even more mind-boggling is, again, like you gals mentioned, when the company doubles down on this. Like with the official Star Wars account tweeting out saying, we don't stand for bullying or racism, we stand with Christina Ariel. Interesting how they weren't doing that for Gina Carano.
No, not even at that. And that too was another huge point. How can y'all say that when you weren't saying it for Gina? But this is her, and Gina wasn't doing anything.
No.
Nothing. She was doing absolutely nothing to warrant attacks. This, I agree not to attack this lady no matter how nasty she gets, because that's obviously what she wants. But you got to admit, she kind of deserved what she got with some of those tweets. So, I mean,
it's like I said, if you're going to come out, and it's not like she said some white people, it's not like she's had a specific subset. She went after and said all, the whole group, all, and just painted an entire group of people with the same brush, with no exception whatsoever. Oh, sorry, Jen, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, which is ironic considering that she's married to a white person and has a half-white child.
Exactly.
So you hate your partner and you hate this part of your child? I mean, it just doesn't. There's something psychologically wrong with someone who has this mindset, especially under those circumstances.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna
absolutely
get that too. It's just it is. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Mandy.
I mean, how can you possibly? What is she? Either one of two things. Either she is spewing this to her husband and children as well, or it's bullshit. She doesn't even believe the trash she's saying, and she's doing it for attention. And both are absolutely disgusting. Either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I look at it this way because I got into a big debate about this on a different podcast this weekend. And like, I'm not coming in here to mansplain or anything like that. All I'm saying is this, the whole Gina thing is very relevant. This lady may not be a racist at heart. And her statements could be, I guess, perceived out of context to a point, but she needs to be more direct in her context as well. Because she does. She just willy-nilly says white people all these times, or white women, white men specifically, without any kind of notion that she's specifically targeting an audience of one way or the other. And that was one of the things that really bothered me. And the same thing with Christina, or with Justina
Ireland,
in the way she's kind of handling this whole situation too. So you have two very toxic women right now on this High Republic team, because Christina is actually not a writer. She's just the host of a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the thing here is you got one of them who isn't even a creative on this show is already causing you problems. And the other one is a writer who's, basically like the new version of Kelly Sue DeConnick going out there, if you fucking white people don't like me, then you ain't gonna like my shit. Where have we heard that before, right?
If you don't like my politics, don't buy my book. Problem solved.
Problem what's solved?
Yeah.
But the thing too is that These aren't comedians. You know, it would be different if they were on stage and making a specific joke, because they
Mhm.
do that. Comedians are the whole white people this and black people that and all this. But
Right.
that's not what they are. They're promoting material that's part of a larger culture that's shared by people from all different backgrounds. So if you want to be a part of this, you're supposed to be more unifying. I mean, that's the whole point. Not to mention, you're trying to sell a product. So turning people away, I don't understand how, frankly, I don't understand how those Kathleen Kennedy and the rest of them, as insane as they are, I don't know how they're allowing this to continue, understanding that it's going to cost them money at a time when they desperately need it.
But here's the thing, and I think this is kind of what goes into it with that. These are creatives, and they're not thinking about the balance sheet. So they're kind of in this ether, and again, they have an agenda to push that they want to do, and they have people like Kathleen Kennedy enabling that agenda, and they're not looking at the balance sheet at all. Or if people are telling them, they're certainly not listening, because it's just going off the rails there.
Yeah, I mean,
So
they're getting paid. They don't care. They're getting theirs. They're good.
We have our paycheck. We're not worried about it. We're not worried about those 32,000 people at Disney had to lay off. We're getting ours,
Right.
and we don't care. But to kind of also add to something Tom said, he said it very well. Another point of view as well is sometimes you have people who aren't necessarily racist, but that doesn't stop them from saying racist things on occasion. And this is one of those where it's just like any rational person is just like, come on. It's like you can't tar a whole group of people, this way. So I think that's where she stepped into it. And of course she's doubled down on it. But then again, you have people like the Mary Sue, we all well know and love, because they love that SJW agenda, virtue signaling, all of that. So of course they had to come out to bat for her. So, title: Racist Star Wars fandom attacks High Republic host Christina Oriel. Now that's already loaded.
Yeah, the title alone is, there's something wrong with that. Because, I guess everybody in the fandom, every single person across the fandom must be racist, right? You gotta be.
I didn't know that.
Or anybody who had an issue with what she said. Yeah, great point, Mandy. Because that was one of the big, huge things that was a point of contention on the stream that I was talking about was another outlet's headlines and how they were painting this situation and how they had gotten brought into the whole deal. And yeah, I see Donald in the chat. He knows what I'm talking about. And the whole thing just kind of went off the rails because one person wanted to pin another person down and tried to wait a minute, that didn't sound right.
Phrasing.
Where are you, Archer?
Hey, phrasing.
Anyway, I tried to catch somebody in a corner, I should say, when it just really didn't seem to work that way. It just seemed like somebody trying to sandbag another person for their opinion. And then they tried to have some big gotcha moment when it really was like, but wait a minute, you're trying to throw in a lot of conflating items and whataboutisms. And we gave a big whataboutism, and that is, what about Gina? And why wasn't she, treated the same way? And I think the answers are pretty clear. And on both sides, I think the answers were pretty clear what the hell's going on. And again, I'd use the term attacked this woman lightly, unlike the Mary Sue would, because I don't really recall anybody directly going after her per se. It was, I believe, this article happened and then somebody else tweeted it out, and then she was like freaking the fuck out. So Star Wars came out with this tweet that made the situation even fucking worse. Which I mean, you guys have kind of covered already, but that's basically the short version of events here that we're looking at. And now we have a woman who's acting like a big fucking victim. And I think she posted 4 tweets.
Yeah, 4 tweets, supposedly screenshots of hate mail
please.
that she got.
These women on this channel have gotten probably 4 nasty tweets while they've been on the air.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I was getting nasty tweets when I was getting into it with people, about this.
I'm saying. So, again, we don't go after these people or anything like that. But this article is a fucking fucking doozy once we get going.
Yeah.
It is something else. So hashtag I stand with Christina is now trending in support of Ariel. Well, it wasn't trending for very long because Gina Carano started beating her out with the hashtags. This should have been Christina Ariel's week to shine. The cosplayer and consummate nerd. Okay, cosplayer, that makes it even worse. Okay. Consummate nerd announced her awesome new gig hosting Star Wars The High Republic Show, a web series for StarWars.com and the Star Wars YouTube channel that covers Lucasfilm's Star Wars High Republic multimedia initiative. So here she just goes on with, with her tweet, like, I'm happy to be, part of the team XYZ, pretty standard filler, not really a problem. So the Mary Sue continues and they put their foot in it like they usually do. But like all people of color.
Oh, Lord.
I can hear Jay's eyes rolling back of her head right now.
Oh, my God.
Why? Okay, first of all, Jay, you wanna talk about that?
I can't stand that whole people of color. I don't know why that's their go-to.
That would be like calling me a person of weight.
Oh my God. I can't.
It's just ridiculous. It's like everyone is a person of color. Guess what? White's a color.
No.
I know, it shocked me too, right?
They have to be divisive. They have to be divisive.
They do. Oh my gosh. Just like, so yeah, again,
And then all, of course.
Yeah. So they can say somebody obviously failed that part in creative writing where, they avoid generalities, especially if you're writing opinion pieces so you don't paint yourself in a corner like that. They just painted themselves in a corner, but they do it all the time. So supposedly, like all people of color who join the Star Wars universe, and I'm pretty sure none of us got that memo, Ariel was subject to the targeted harassment of the fandom from the fandom's toxic racist contingency. There's a toxic racist contingency.
I was unaware of that.
There's actually several lists. And guess what? We're on a shit ton of them.
A racist contingency.
I guess this is where they get that blockchain from for someone.
Yeah.
That's for you. It's a block party. You're gonna block. Oh. So racist Star Wars trolls have been relentless in their attacks on franchise stars John Boyega.
Oh no.
And Kelly Marie Tran. So we're gonna dig that false narrative back up, right?
I believe it was Disney that was racist toward John Boyega first.
Well, they're the ones that dicked up his character.
We're gonna ignore that part though.
Oh, of course. And some people brought that up too after that Star Wars tweet. And Jane, I think you actually put a tweet with the US poster and the Chinese poster.
I did.
You're talking about this, right?
No, right.
Convenient. Nice how we just forget, stuff like that. And Kelly Marie Tran, she just decided she didn't really want to be on social media for other reasons.
And I do think this is part of it too. The fact that they hired these people, these specific individuals, her and the other lady, to take away some of that attention and criticism they were getting for how Boyega was treated and how his character was treated. So to say, or to put forth this image, oh, we're not racist, not really. Let's go hire some Black people who espouse these extreme views and then put them on the High Republic, something we don't really care about anyway. That's kind of what happened here.
That is what happened.
And it's drawn attention away from all of the criticism they were getting for how they minority characters, which is what John Boyega was talking about prior to this controversy.
Exactly.
Just wait. They find a way to blame us for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They try to make themselves bulletproof by, trotting minorities out and saying, if you criticize it, you're an islamophobe and whatever. But no one looks into how bigoted that is to just excuse that behavior because the person's
waiting
doing
for the receipts on Kelly Marie Tran too, by the way.
Yeah, I don't
Mhm.
remember anybody ever attacking her. I know nobody really liked the Rose Tico character, but I don't remember anybody ever attacking her for anything. To my knowledge, I don't remember her being very vocal
I
about
don't.
anything.
I know people were just like, I wish they hadn't have put her in that potato sack of an outfit, and they
God,
just wanted more stuff for her to do in the films.
right. It was the outfit, the costume was god awful, and she's so beautiful.
Yes.
She's so gorgeous. And then, yeah, they had her in
Mhm.
that.
But it's just like with Gina Carano. She never really said anything offensive, but they would read things into what she did say. And it's the same thing with Kelly Marie Tron. People were criticizing how the character was written, and they just read from that, oh, you're racist. That's what they immediately jumped to. They read that into every criticism of the plot, the character, how she was designed, how she was written, all of that. All they hear is, you hate her because she's Asian. I mean, it's just insane.
It really does seem like that is what they're doing, though, isn't it? They're half-assing these characters and then putting somebody that's, not white in the spot. So then, anytime you say, hey, that character was wrote real shitty, y'all could have done a way better job. Oh, so you don't like Chinese people. I see. And that's what they keep doing. Why don't they just make a good movie?
That would
They
require
got
work.
the means.
That would require work.
Why don't they just make a good movie and end all this bullshit? Just make something decent. Quit with this time. They have to know it's shit, right? They have to look at this and be like, yeah, that's some shit there. That's ass. Go back to the drawing board.
But it's theirs though, so it smells good. That's the only logical explanation. It's like, it's our crap, so it smells good. You don't like our crap. What's wrong with you? You don't like our crap. But it's oh my god, it's crazy. It's nuts. And so to take it up a little bit more, and those same trolls are now directing their venomous hate at Ariel.
Lord.
Focusing on
The
some
exact same ones, huh?
Yeah.
The exact same people are making the tweets.
Yeah. Yeah. Focusing on some of her old tweets addressing systemic racism.
That's not what they were addressing.
No,
that's not what they were addressing. They were just generalizations. And frankly, one of the things, I did a video on this, and one of the things I noticed was that a lot of her tweets had literally nothing to do with her. Like Mr. Yang's comment, for example, about the girl or some lady who attacked him in a store. That was that one individual person who was being rude and very Karen-like. And she jumped into this conversation that had nothing to do with her, right? Nothing to do with race. And suddenly sends out this proclamation to all white people that y'all should do this. Stop doing that. And I'm just like, why would you? You didn't have that to say. No one asked for your opinion.
Yeah, but they think that their opinion, that everyone wants to hear it. A lovely person that I like to talk about, with Sean King, aka Talcum X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yeah. He likes to do stuff like that too. He's not black, but for some reason he thinks that he is, and he won't take a DNA test to prove that he is. But yeah, they do this. It's like, it's nothing about you, but they put themselves, into it.
Yeah, and they very much act like they speak for the entire black race, don't they? They get up on that pedestal and they're like, hey, look at me. I rule this bitch. Y'all listen to me. I mean, and I just
they do.
And they don't. This lady doesn't speak for y'all. There's no way this lady speaks for y'all. So
no. It's like I would ask people, it's like, who died and made you, head of the black police?
Right?
What meeting was that?
I know. I missed that. I mean, I know they had a racial draft on the Dave Chappelle show. I know that much. But I don't know about this. And of course, it gets better, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because in their broken brains, a black woman calling out racist white systems and racist white people is, wait for it, racist.
But she didn't. Why do they do like, oh, I can't stand when they do this. She didn't call out racist white people. Nobody would care if that's what she had done.
Mhm.
She generalized an entire group of people worldwide
Mhm.
who happen to have fair skin or be of European descent. That's what she did. People who had nothing to do with what she was talking about, people who had not done anything wrong, who just going about their lives, minding their business, her own husband. I mean, how do you justify this? And I don't know how all of these different sites, other than just they want clickbait. I mean, that's the only explanation for it. But how Disney and all the rest of them can justify this and go along with it and just accept it is just beyond me. Because if it were the other way around, Black people wouldn't stand for that. You can't just generalize all Black people and expect to get away with it.
Nobody would stand for that.
No one will.
Nobody would stand for that. There's, yeah, believe it or not,
Why should white people?
yeah,
It's crazy.
in life, most people, I would say like 99% hate racists. We don't like it. We want it to end. And like I said, there may be 4 hillbillies sitting on the back of their truck drinking some beer, but nobody gives them a voice. Nobody wants to hear them spew their bullshit. No more than do I or anybody else wants to hear this lady spew her bullshit.
Exactly. And the thing is that people like the Mary Sue think that there is a problem if you call people out like Miss Ariel for making statements like that. If you call her out by saying, you know what, you're wrong. You know you're wrong, and what you said was wrong. Somehow holding her accountable is tantamount to racism.
And she could just as easily come out herself and say, look, I was just generalizing. It was wrong. I was talking about this one specific person or this one specific incident or people who do this kind of thing. Not all white people. That's all she had to come out and say.
Yeah.
She couldn't even do that.
No, because I'm thinking, you know what? She probably ran to someone at Lucasfilm and said, hey, you need to handle this. You need to handle this. If you don't handle this, I'm going to basically say that you don't know how to treat Black people who work for you. It's racist if you don't go to bat for me, that kind of thing. And obviously something worked because I've never seen the official Star Wars account come out and say something like this.
No. This is the first time I've known of them to come out and actually get into the shit. They usually just kind of stay
like, you handle that. We can't touch it.
Yeah, that's your problem. But no, this time they came out, and honestly, they kind of came out swinging with this one, considering what Gina's gone through the past couple of months. Really, this is the hill y'all want to die on? All right, well, how about it?
And I think that's what angered the fandom so much, because they act as if we have very short memories.
Right.
I don't have screenshots.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Jane, what'd you say?
No, I said they want us to have short memories.
They do. They really do. Because if they didn't think we'd have bank on us having short memories, they wouldn't have come out with some crap like this. And that's where most of the anger and the blowback from the fandom started to come from. Why didn't you do this, Regina? Oh, you can tweet about this, but you can't tweet about James Earl Jones's birthday. You can't do that. Right. It just snowballed, from there. So this article, pretty much, it's all about basically building up Christina and how she's the victim and how Star Wars fans are just mean and nasty and racist, and how dare they, and they should pretty much go die in a fire or something. That's pretty much what all of these are. And of course they go into using John Boyega as a shield to cover that, too. But one of the things that I came across was a video from the Gospel According to Mark with a C. For people who don't know Mark, he's also one of the panelists on the Dark Council show. And he came up with an angle to this that blew my mind. I'm almost embarrassed that I didn't think about it, probably because I didn't think it was that insidious, but he was right on the money. So figured we'd this video is actually it's really important. It gives a great perspective, and I really think that it's something that we need to hear, especially since he's one of us from in the fandom. So we'll probably break this up, but let me know if you hear this.
What's up, guys? This is the Gospel according to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for riding with the brother once again. Listen, guys, I just want to make a quick video to address all of this uproar that's been going on with this chick, Christina Ariel. Let me just start off by just telling a quick story, all right? I'll try to be brief about this, guys. There's a reason for it. So
now this story is really important because it puts into perspective what he's going to say a little bit later.
Rock with me for a minute. I say probably about 10 to 11 years ago, I lost a very, very good friend of mine to breast cancer. All right. She meant the world to me. She was a true friend. And when she died, it really, it took a great piece of my heart with her. All right. I will say that she was a Black woman. All right. And there's a reason for me saying this too, because when she passed away, guys, she left a 3-year-old daughter and I believe at the time he might have been around 10-year-old son who was autistic. All right. And she cared a great deal for them. And, you know, it was a rough deal, you know, to lose her that way, you know, so young and full of life. And I remember when she passed away, she was also a coworker of mine, you know, also, you know, beloved friend, but she was a coworker. And when she passed away, I remember wanting to do something to help her family, her kids. And some of my coworkers suggested that we do a fundraiser for her. And when we did, we were able to, you know, raise a great deal of money. And what always stuck out with me, guys, by the way, when we did this, is that I couldn't help but notice, you know, all of the people who came out with their families, their kids, you know, and these were predominantly white people. You know, they came out in full force, you know, to support me, you know, as a respected coworker, and to respect her and her family. And like I said before, to see all of those faces to come out that day, that night when we had the fundraiser, and you know, all of the ideas they had, the raffles, and you know, the auctions, you know, all the things that they had going on. It was a very, very special night. You know, they set up everything, the tables, the chairs, and I remember just feeling so overwhelmed by the outpouring of support, you know, and respect and concern and humanity that went with that. Now, you know,
but just to kind of add, just with him talking about just respect and humanity of, you know, of what happened, where, you know, even though it's like she was a Black woman, she had like all of these white coworkers, and the only thing they could think about was raising money to help her family.
Yeah, people are genuinely good at heart. Most of them. There are bad ones, but to generalize that not everybody, you know, that everybody's a bad apple or whatever is so incredibly wrong, because it wouldn't matter who you are. If I found out that you were in a situation like that, you're damn right I'd donate whatever I had. You know, if I had it, they would get it, because, yeah, I don't want to see anybody hurting or anybody's children without their parents, or you know, it's people are genuinely good. I think nowadays we forget that a lot with online, with social media. You know, you're kind of getting the worst of people. In real life, most people they're good. So yeah, I thought that was really nice.
And I think in real life most people at least try to be.
Yeah.
But on social media they try to be their worst possible self.
Because that's what gets attention, right? If you are genuinely a nice person on Twitter, and you're nice and you don't start crap, and you just, you know, hey, that looks great. Hey, I love that, you know, and you're like that, you're probably not going to get a lot of likes. Where if you're like this other girl that's spewing all this hate, Well, how many, how many upvotes did that get? How much clout did she build off of that one horrible comment? So, yeah, social media does kind of take the worst of humanity, but that's not reality. In reality, most people are good. Or in my experience, most people are good.
Yeah, most people want to do, the right thing, and they're not concerned with what color you are. It's not like this is 50 years ago, 60 years ago, where attitudes were markedly, different. It's because I would tell people, it's like you can't just demonize racism in the South when you ignore the prejudice that was in the North. Because I had some relatives who left the South and went north to look for work, and they had to endure prejudice in the North. So it's not just endemic to one region. It's not just endemic to one class of people. But it's like now, it's not like it was then. And people are most likely, they just want to help. They just want to reach out. They just want to connect. They're not looking at what you look like. But unfortunately, you have a class of people out here who have a financial incentive to keep dividing us.
Right.
So Mark goes on. This is such an awesome video.
This is not to say that there isn't a such thing as racist people, racist white people, but I was never the same after that. You learn something when you see people come together that way for a good cause, for a common cause. And what you can't do after that happens is you can't, unless you're just a dumbass, if you're a dumbass, then you can. But if you're someone who thinks and has a conscience and, process things the right way, what you can't do is after that is make a bunch of blanket statements about what white people do this and white people do that in a negative way, because you've had personal experience, and that's the importance of living and getting to know people and interacting with people, coming out of your comfort zone, to honestly communicate and get to know the people around you. And I am no longer capable, if I ever was capable, of trying to lump people into just one box, to demonize them. I know better. And the reason why I bring this up, guys, is what you have with this Christina Ariel thing. A lot of people are getting on here talking about how racist she is. You saw the title of this video. Christina Ariel is not racist. She's something worse. All right. Something else I know in my experience of life, guys, is that, let me see, how can I put this? When you see someone, in this case, a black person, and all you hear come out of their mouth is white people, white people, white people this, white people that, white people this, white people that, white people, white people, white people. And you hear that more than you hear black people, or anybody else for that matter. Usually you're dealing with a certain type of personality. This is something I've come to realize in my life. You're dealing with someone who is obsessed, all right? And they're obsessed to the point where they glorify the people that they're talking about. They become jealous of the people that they're talking about. They internalize what they believe to be privileged white people, all right? Because that's what I'm saying. They glamorize being white. So they think white people have privilege. They think they have the secret card to get them everywhere. And what that leads to is jealousy. They want to be white people, or they want to be privileged like they think white people are, And these are the people who usually go on to demand, like, it's not enough for them to have their own. It's not enough for them to love themselves, because, that they don't do that. I know what it means to really achieve love of self. When you really love yourself, you have no problem loving other people. I've learned that. And usually it's because you've learned to love yourself as an individual. So by extension, you learn how to judge other people and love or hate them, to be fair, as individuals.
And that's a good point right there. It's like, instead of judging people like as a group, judging people as an individual. And if you love who you are, you're looking at people as individuals, not not as a group.
No, he's absolutely right. I mean, like, I could not have said this better at all. I think no one could have spoke on this as well as what he did.
Wasn't the whole like idea of, you know, beating racism to begin with, at least when I was a kid, was that, you know, not everybody's the same just because they have the same colored skin or, you know, the same type of features, you know, or don't come from America or not straight white, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You know, you don't judge everybody by just the color of their skin, right? You know, wasn't that the whole initial idea? Like, yeah, judge people as individuals. Yeah, I
judge
mean,
them by their character, not by the color of their skin. Yeah, that was, and that is the right way to live. I mean, that is the right way to do things. So, yeah.
But I think he raises an interesting point too about self-hate. And from what I've seen as well, the people who tend to be the most vocal racist, actual racist, it usually is coming from a place of insecurity about themselves, about their own ancestry, their own history, or whatever it is. But they do sort of put the other group they purport to hate up on a pedestal, and they internalize that, their own insecurities and whatever stereotypes they've associated with those people. And it reflects more so on them than it does the group they're targeting. So that's a really
absolutely. It's just like with bullies. You know, bullies typically bully people because they themselves are insecure. You know, depression usually comes out as anger, even though it's really the sadness within you, but it's coming out as an anger sometimes. So yeah, no, this is how she feels. And that is what she's showing us exactly who she is and what she feels. It just doesn't make sense considering that she feels this way, married to a Black man with a mixed race child. You would think that the love of that child alone would, and the love of her husband alone would make her be like, okay, he loves me. That's, you know, where's the problem? But no, not so with her.
Yeah, Mark's actually gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that. Let's see here.
All right, but when you don't love yourself, then you have a hard time. You have a hard time perceiving other people, accepting other people. You know, like I said, you become jealous of other people. And in Christina Ariel's case, and people like her, and I've met many people like them before, so I know I wasn't wrong. I knew I wasn't wrong. They do. They glamorize what they think white people are and the image of white people, and it's not enough for them to be who they are. They have to be them. They want their spot. They want their position. These are the people who demand that they have a Black James Bond, and demand that they can't just have their own characters. You know, they have to have those characters. They want to be those characters. You know, they want to have a Black Batman, a Black James Bond, a Black Superman, a Black Spider-Man. You know, it never occurs to them that they can actually be good enough to be their own character and their own superhero. You know, so I've known people like this, like I said before. So I was curious about Christina Ariel, you know, and, you know, I, you know, looked at her Twitter page, I looked at her Facebook page, I looked at her Instagram page, and no surprise, she is married to a white man. She's married to a white man. It looks like he might have had a child from another relationship because, you know, she's raising his what appears to be his Black son, and she has one biracial child probably with him. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, nothing at all. You know, I'm happy if she's happy, you know, that's great. That is not the problem with me. The fact that she is in an interracial relationship. But like I said before, I told the story about what I came to realize when I saw the good in people, in this case, white people. All right. She is married. She is in a loving relationship with a white person, you know, and by extension, I'm sure she has a good relationship with her white in-laws, you know, white friends that I saw on her pages as well. How can a person like that go on to spread the type of evil that she was spreading in those Twitter posts that I saw?
And it's something else I want to bring up too. My brother-in-law is white. My brother-in-law is white. I have biracial nieces and nephews. I can't imagine my sister spouting the same stuff that Miss Ariel spat. about white people and claim to still love her husband and claim to love her children. I can't see that happening. I can't. It's like teaching your children to hate a part of who they are.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. There's two choices. Either she's actually doing that to her children and spreading that to them and very possibly talking to her husband that way. Or this is bullshit and she doesn't even, you can't sit there and say shit like that and be married to a white man with mixed children. You can't look at that sweet baby's face and think, well, you know what? The white part of you ain't so good. I'll just ignore. I mean, no, you love everything about your children. Everything, every aspect of your children. So this is one of two things. She's either full of shit or she is a disgusting human being. And I'm going to
number three, he's a subservient cuck. And I feel sorry.
Yes, for that.
But here's the thing, too. You also do see this phenomenon. And I've always thought it was very bizarre. But you also have in the quote unquote Black community, people who are biracial themselves, who say the exact same things that she says, almost as if they're trying to prove they're still Black by demonstrating their hatred for white people. And I wonder if her being in an interracial relationship is part of that too, potentially, to sort of maintain her clout or street credit as a Black person. Like, she hasn't sold out. She still doesn't like white people, even though she's married to one. It's this weird, I've seen that, and I've never understood it.
You're you're absolutely right, Jane. You're absolutely right. I've run into some people like that who they feel that they feel that unless they were 100% Black, which that's very rare in this country. I mean, I'm 15% European. They feel like if they're not 100% African, that they have something to prove and they have this chip on their shoulder, about it. Case in point, of course, people know, like I do DNA tests, all that.
What? You're European?
I know. Part of me is Italian too. Can you believe that?
Oh my God. I can't be having this shit here.
You're fired. You're fired. You're unfired. You're unfired. I need you. Come here.
Oh my God. But yeah, I would talk to some people, and some of the people who were most militant about being angry at white people were biracial people. Some of them who would get, who would treat you a certain kind of way. Like, how dare you want to find anything out about your white ancestry? It's like, why? They're part of my family too. I don't understand.
Right.
And it's just, it feels like they have to, it's like, you don't have anything to, what do you have to prove? Nothing.
It's so sad that they feel like they do, though. That's really, really sad that somebody would feel like they would need to prove. Just be yourself. Be you. Just be what you are.
And love yourself. Exactly.
And love yourself. Yeah. Just, go out there and live your best life, no matter where that takes you. It's not rocket science, and it seems so hard for some people to get. Just go.
I got to say this because I know none of you ladies are old enough to remember this, but nobody used to talk or think this way. There was mixed race couples and stuff like that all the time in the 80s and 90s, and it was never a big deal. But all of a sudden now it's more important than anything else. It's just insane.
No, they used to clown it on oh gosh, one of my favorite shows I used to watch in syndication, The Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Tom and Helen Willis. I mean, George Jefferson would make jokes about the fact that, they were, a mixed race couple, but it was played the way of showing how ignorant he was. And eventually he came around, especially, when his granddaughter was born. So they kind of like made light of it, but it was to make fun of it, to realize how ignorant that was.
Well, that was the best part, was how Archie Bunker and George would go butt heads. It's like, two fuckers just don't realize how much alike you are.
Yeah.
Like
And we could laugh about that and learn, and learn through our laughter. And it's just like now they don't want you to do that. They don't want us to continue to learn about each other and laugh with each other.
No,
It's
you can't tell jokes anymore.
Oh,
No,
you can't have
Don't you dare
humor.
tell a joke.
Imagine if
How
they
dare
did.
you?
Imagine if they did the Richard Pryor Chevy Chase skit right now from Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
The world would lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Don't even pretend y'all are old enough. Y'all have seen it on YouTube, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was YouTube. Yeah, I didn't catch it live.
No, but I heard it was on YouTube, so I went to look at it. I was like, wow, you can't do that now.
Yeah, look it up if you haven't seen it, though. It's Chevy Chase, Richard Pryor, SNL job interview. That's all you should need to find it. And it is hilarious. And it really kind of makes fun of this whole culture right now. And this was back in 1975. They did this skit.
Yeah.
The same thing with Eddie Murphy in probably, I think it was 81 or 2. He did a skit where he dressed up like a white person for a day. And it's this whole idea of how he goes. It's just the whole idea and the fun of it. Like, we used to be able to make fun of these things and have fun with it. It's not like we all knew oh, that's bullshit. Like everybody got in an uproar about Eddie Murphy's white skit. We all knew he was having fun with it.
Oh, I hope they don't give a whole ration of crap about Coming to America too.
Oh, it's going to happen. You just wait.
They're going to do it. How would they not?
Well, here's the thing
how would they not?
that bothers me about that movie is John Landis has always brought up the point that regardless of the fact that it has almost an entirely black cast, black writers, and all this other stuff, and the main characters come from Africa, you never heard anybody point out that Coming to America was a black comedy. It was just always referred to as a comedy. Mm-hmm. Now, though, they have totally hijacked it as one of the premier black comedies. It's like, that was something that John Landis never wanted that movie to be seen as.
Mm-mm. It was just downright freaking hilarious, and people wanted to see it.
Yep.
Just classic comedy. Ugh, man, it used to be fun. I don't have fun anymore.
I looked at Ichibaka. Shout out to Ichibakas. I looked at his page and I saw her tweets. White people this, and I'm tired of white people. You're getting boned regularly by a white man. You got white schlong in your life. It's like, well, not only that, okay, but you've achieved love. All right, you've achieved love. Doesn't matter if it's white, black, or whatever. But in your case, it is significant because you're the one who put yourself out there. So you have love in your life. You have an amazing opportunity here. You have this position with Disney. You're hosting this show about the High Republic. You have great fortune. You're blessed. You have children, a husband, love, a job, and all of these things. But the best you can do is to spit this venom into the world. No, that's not what I call racist. That's what I call evil. Because what you're doing is not just working against one particular race, but against everyone. And to me, that says everything about what's going on with Disney Lucasfilm these days. Mm-hmm. How could they make a tweet that says, what is it? Our Star Wars community is one of hope and inclusivity. We do not stand for bullying and racism. We support Christina Ariel. You support her, knowing all of the things that I just said. What does that say about you, Disney Lucasfilm?
And I think this is one of the things that they don't understand. It says so much about Lucasfilm that they prop these people up, they make excuses for them, they enable them, and allow them to trash us.
And yeah, it speaks volumes. Everything they've done since they made the new movies has kind of spoken to what they feel about the fandom and about even the actors that played the roles. It's honestly, it's so incredibly disgusting that I cannot believe that they keep doing it. I can't believe that they don't see what they're doing.
I can't believe they don't have a social media policy. Just why are these people on the internet?
Right? Right. I mean, okay.
Why are they on Twitter?
I do not agree with what Roseanne did, but she made a disgusting tweet and they canceled her shit. You're out of here, bitch.
Yes,
Go. I mean, so you look at and you go back and read the tweet that Roseanne made. It's not a good tweet. You know what I mean?
It wasn't a good look.
It wasn't a good look.
It wasn't.
Compare that to this girl's tweets and you show me the difference. You show me where there's that big of a difference to where, she's getting, patted on the back and, oh, poor baby. And Roseanne's sitting, I would say the unemployment line, but we all know that's not true. But she's sitting over here, watching her show tape because I don't even know why they kept going. How do you have Roseanne without Roseanne?
I know it's going, but I don't care.
They did the same thing to Valerie back in the day.
So I don't,
too young to remember that shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
that's where
insane.
Jason Bateman came from.
Oh shit.
But I honestly think that they just do not care. They would rather burn Star Wars to the ground than fix it. This faction. There's no other explanation. It's like what was it? Was it The Dark Knight? Where Alfred said some men just want to watch the world burn. Yeah.
Some
I
men
think
just want to watch the world burn.
I like that accent.
That's really
That
good.
was good.
Yeah, a ruby the size of a tangerine.
And you can see it in their comment section too, where they're basically saying, destroy their myths, destroy their stories. And it's like, how do you get joy out of that?
Right.
Why is this a thing? Like, why can't you go find a hobby? Go do something else and leave people alone to enjoy things.
Well, I think you guys brought up, I'm trying to remember now if it was Mark or you guys that brought up the point, but like, can't she just be happy? Actually, I think you both did. Look at the outlook at the world of, I'm married. I've got a great family. I'm working for fucking Star Wars at Disney.
Right.
I mean, how much more win do you need in your fucking life before you got to put so much hate and vitriol out there in the world? I just don't get it.
Right. And she's a Black woman who has gotten that success.
It's like, Heifer, what's wrong with you? Do you realize that 30 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 100 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to do something like this?
Exactly.
Well, that's part of the problem too, is that this movement has put Black women in the forefront of it in the first place. And that outlet I have had an issue with, all along. I don't like the idea that they're basically using the image of Black women and selecting for these type of people who are out there, spouting this foolishness. That's what they want to promote, that stereotype, that caricature of us. And I personally don't appreciate it because I think it's damaging and I think that it's destructive long term. But this is something we've seen them do over the past year and a half.
Oh yeah, because I think Thomas showed the video last week of Justina Ireland when she was speaking, and she was just like, where did she get her ideas from? And she's like, I'm angry. I'm just angry. I'm like, oh great, perpetuate the stereotype of the angry Black woman. Really? That's what you're gonna go with?
That's what they're comfortable with.
That's so freaking bigoted, and they hate it when you say that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You tell them that, and they act as if something's wrong with you or you're self-hating with it. It's just like no.
Yeah,
you
that's
and this nonsense is even worse.
Where she was basically saying, if you can change people's minds and you can change history.
Yeah.
This woman is off her fucking rocker.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially when she said the Civil War wasn't about slavery. I'm like, Heifer, get off the stage. Get off the freaking stage. That's ridiculous.
But this is who they hire. This is who they
this is
want
who
to
they
do business
hire.
with.
This is what they put in the front so that when it all blows up, they'll do one of two things. They'll either claim everyone else is racist, or they'll just wash their hands of it, walk away, and just whistle.
Yeah.
All of the divisiveness that's been coming out of this company, it all starts to come into focus right now. I ask everyone else in the fandom to brace for what this really is. I've always said that this is bigger than Star Wars. At this point, you guys know, I've said it so many times. Don't let these people twist us up and turn us against our fellow human beings. This is what they're there for. I'm convinced of it now more than anything. This is actually scary when I looked at this. How could a person who is in a loving relationship with a white person express what she has expressed and put it out there into the world? The only thing I can come up with is it's just plain evil, and that's what we're dealing with here, with everything, with all of this empty, dumbass virtue signaling that they're doing. They're doing it to turn people against each other, to cause resentment, So for everybody who went to her Twitter page and called her the N-word and offered her some watermelon and chicken and all that bullshit, you're playing right into their hands. That's what they want. They want the chaos. They want the division. They want the bad feelings. And in our blindness, turning against one another, that's when they conquer, divide and conquer. It's a psyop, like I always said. I'm a tiny channel, but I've always said I will continue to show them what they're afraid of. They're afraid of people talking, people actually getting to know one another. This devil woman, she knows better. Like I said before, being in the relationship that she's in, she knows better. The experience that I had, I know better than to paint people with a broad brush that way. And when you know better and you still do it, well, there's only one way to call that. You're evil. You're worse than racist.
Exactly.
You're a devil. You're evil. And I'm calling you out. All right.
Yep. And I could not, like I said, Mark he just nailed it.
Yeah.
He absolutely nailed it.
He did so amazing with this video. He really did. He hit every aspects that I did think of, and then the big one that I didn't even dawn on me. So no, I thought that was an amazing video. I think Mark did a great job. Love you, Mark. That was awesome. Yeah. That was so good. So yeah, this, I don't understand how somebody can just be that disgusting and that nasty and have people saying, yeah, you poor thing, we got your back. How can you?
No, I think I know that's what really made my blood pressure rise, is people who thought that this was okay.
Yeah, there's people like telling her, yeah, you get them, you tell them what's, and it's like you're just adding to it. And why would you do that? Unless it is to get attention. And oh my gosh, how badly do you need attention? That's some desperate shit right there.
And working on Star Wars, why do you need attention? You have everything you need right there.
Exactly.
I just don't understand it.
I mean,
you have a show. You're a host.
Yes. You are making money by talking about something that you love. Oh, don't get me wrong. I would hate that job because I wouldn't want to have to good talk the High Republic. I would be like, oh my gosh, what do I say good about this today? I would have the worst time coming up with things to talk about for that.
Polish that turd. No way.
No, you can't polish that turd at all. So yeah, I wouldn't like it, but I mean, I assume she probably does enjoy the High Republic. I don't know how, but obviously she is kookier than hell, so maybe that's how she can muster through it. But Yeah, she's got a family. She's got money. She's got a job at a time where there are a lot of people that would kill for any job.
Exactly.
And she's got this amazing one. And what does she do? She sits there and just, plays a victim. You can't play victim. I'm sorry, hun. You got it too good to play victim.
Yep. And and I shared Mark's link in the chat, so you guys, if you could head on over there and check out his channel. We got over 500 people watching. Please hit that like button as well. Show these ladies some love. It's an amazing crowd tonight, so thank you so much for being here. I just want to say that real quick before we finish this off and dive into some super chat.
Cool.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Again, don't tweet at this chick.
No. Don't.
You're probably already blocked.
Yeah, you're probably blocked.
I'm surprised I'm not blocked yet.
You're not?
No, and I've been all in there before because
Wow.
I had people actually have the nerve to tell me, well, if it doesn't apply to you, then you shouldn't be so upset. Really? So,
Yeah.
for example, say, my neighbor's Asian and their house gets robbed. I shouldn't call the cops.
Right.
Not me. It doesn't apply to me. And that's even more disgusting. It's just,
Well,
And it's also not realistic. I always hated that phrase, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. No, that's not how people, personally, you shouldn't be a mean-spirited person to
Right.
generalize a whole group of people anyway. It's not okay to do that. And secondly, human beings have emotions. We have feelings, right? And that's okay. So when you say things like that, people affected by it are hurt by it. And that's not wrong on their part. It's wrong on your part for making them feel that way by doing this sort of thing that you shouldn't be doing anyway, because we've all been taught when we were little to be nice. And if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
Right?
At least
Exactly.
not right there.
Or make sure you make the other person cry so they can take shit back.
But yeah, folks, don't go after this person, but definitely let Lucasfilm know your feelings about it. Definitely. Because again, they count on us having very short memories. You need to show them we do not have short memories. We have very, very long memories.
We're like elephants.
Exactly.
We don't forget shit. We know stuff and we don't forget it.
Well, I think any last thoughts, ladies?
I think she is a mean bitch. I think that's the end of it for me. I think she is disgusting. But yeah, don't say nothing to her, because anything you say that is ugly back to her, she's just going to use that as more of a, oh, look what they're doing to me. It's so sad. Don't give her that shit. Hell no. Don't give it to her.
No, that's like when you get some piece of crap employee that's really mean to you and nasty and whatever. You don't get into it with them.
No.
You with their boss.
Exactly.
I think she needs therapy. Like, this is someone a lot of people do, but I think she needs to get help, because everything she's putting out there, she needs to think about, if not her husband, which I don't understand that whole situation. Think about your child. Everything you're saying about quote unquote white people, you're saying about your own son or daughter. I mean, how you can raise your child with that kind of self-hatred is just unconscionable. I don't understand it, and she needs to rethink that.
No, and the fact that she hasn't clarified her responses or anything like that clearly shows that she's doubling down.
Yeah, no, she's pleased. She's pleased with those comments.
I was just going to say, and I think you guys are right that she actually reached out to Disney and asked them to support her and, shake the finger at all the naughty racists out there. That's the thing. It's always, they're under attack for, somebody pointing out something they did. That's what I think is hilarious.
This is what you said. How is that an attack? To criticize something you actually said.
And I mean, this has actually gone farther and deeper than this discussion has kind of let out. Like, we've gotten to a point where there are, people within the community and people that were involved in some of these headlines and whatnot. Again, I'm not trying to bring in other people into this whole thing, but like, because I don't need any extra flack thrown towards anybody for that matter. But no, I think it really speaks to the nature of Disney's intentions when they don't support somebody like, Gina Carano, but they'll gladly support somebody like this. It says a lot. It does say a lot. So, I mean, I don't feel like anybody who has, one of those knee-jerk reactions to this lady and her tweets is unjustified, especially knowing that she has a white husband and mixed race children, because it's like, she should fucking know better.
Right.
Hell yeah. I almost wanted to tear my niece's kindergarten teacher a new one, because she made her like feel bad because she was mixed race, because they were talking about backgrounds and all of that and where your parents came from. And she said something to the effect of, oh, well, honey, you're different because you're mixed. And my niece came home crying because of that, because this teacher made her feel bad about that. And I'm just like, I mean, and I'm angry, and it's not, my full blood, it's not my child, but I'm just freaking angry, because it's like, how dare you try to make a child feel bad just because she has a certain ethnicity? That's ridiculous. I don't even understand that. So I can't even see as a parent how you could spew this kind of nonsense and then attempt to love your child that has the same part of the answer of your husband. I just can't. I can't see that.
Yeah. Well, at worst, she's a poser.
There is no at best. There's no at
best. And actually, that's at best. She's a poser. At worst, Mark's right, and she's evil.
Yeah,
and she can be a combination of all of those things.
Oh yeah, very true, very true. And I don't like throwing these kind of accusations at anybody. And I even kind of stepped up and said, some of these headlines may be a little hyperbolic, because do I believe she's a racist? No, not really, because I don't genuinely think a lot of people are. But I do feel like there's a great amount of hypocrisy on one side of this argument that are very that will show off the exact type of traits and stereotypes and other divisive nature that they claim that these other people are. Not only that, it's just so difficult for me to believe that the amount of people that they are trying to paint as racist is even. And I mean, we're talking about the entire world, and they'll try and make you think that there's, millions of them in the U.S. It's like,
don't get me started on
how
that.
can there even be that many? It's like
there is no way. I am in the deep South, and I have never met a honest to God race. I've never met one. I have not once. Have I met one? And y'all hear my accent. Yeah. I'm in the South. I'm deep in the South, and I've not once ever actually met one.
They are few and far between in the South. And honestly, and I've traveled outside of the U.S., and I have run into racism outside of the U.S., including in Europe, also in Canada. It's been it's been in other places, and people like to demonize the U.S. But another thing that people don't like to talk about, or they kind of forget, is racism that goes on in Latin America.
Yeah,
which is much worse than it is here. So people make the United States, it seems like, behind every blade of grass, there's a racist.
Exactly.
No.
Every other neighbor down the street is obviously some, white supremacist or some shit. Like, that's literally what they'll have you believe.
Oh yeah.
People like Andre and several other people who have, traveled all throughout the world. And my writing partner, who actually is American, but now he lives in another country, and happens to be black, he's pointed this out several times. America is one of the least, if not the least, racist countries in the world, because you have such a melting pot of different people that you go to different regions and areas and countries, like they're very sectionalized. Like, I mean, there's a reason why you don't see a whole lot of black people when you go to Ireland, or if you go to somewhere like there's it's just the way it's their culture. It's the way that for generations they haven't integrated into that society yet, and it's just you're starting to see more and more prevalence in other countries, and it's starting to grow. But a lot of the reason for that is because of so many racist feelings towards other cultures and xenophobia, and it's not even just about the color of the skin. It's just Americans in general, or Canadians in general, or whatever, what have you. And like you were just saying, like, like look at some of the other countries like South America and Mexico and other places where, yeah, I mean, they'll treat you the way they treat you. And we don't hear anybody bitching about that. Funny thing, or any of these other countries where they do some horrific things to their women and, other things in their culture. And it's just, they'll sit there and they'll stand up for that, but yet they'll point a finger at us like we're doing something so horrible by not liking a fucking Star Wars movie. And then they're going to call us a bunch of fucking racists or enablers or what have you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that I see it, it's mostly in the court system, and there's all sorts of reasons why that is. But in day-to-day life, I mean, your average person could care less about anything anyone else is doing. They're going to work, they're coming home, they're taking care of their families. That's it.
I think mostly people just want to be left the hell alone.
Exactly.
Just leave me alone. Let me live my life. Y'all live your life. We'll all just live our own lives, and nobody really gives a shit. The only people that seem to give a shit are people that are getting up on pedestals trying to get money for giving a shit.
People don't think about race all day. I don't.
I really want to say during the 80s, it started to become a lot more about class.
It did.
Color became a lot less of a thing. Like, I mean,
I agree.
I don't remember it.
Created in such a way that certain, I mean, we've all heard the crack versus cocaine debate. There were all sorts of things woven into that created a mix of class and race issues that linger in that system because it perpetuated certain stereotypes that people bought into that just sort of created this cycle that is going to have to be resolved at some point. But in day-to-day life outside that system, you don't see it nearly as much, I don't think.
No. And I mean, just look at some of the celebrities, okay? If all of America, if every white person is America is racist, how is Oprah, the richest woman, how is Halle Berry constantly being told one of the most beautiful women in the world, which she is, by the way, but there is Mariah Carey, there's Beyonce. Oh my God.
Whitney Houston was probably the biggest artist of the 90s. Michael Jackson is arguably the biggest artist of the 80s. Two black men basically invented rock and roll.
Yeah,
Turner became a rock and roll star.
Yeah, those were people that are looked at for their character and their skill. Nobody gives a shit if Beyonce is black, white. The girl can sing, and damn, she is fierce as fuck. So everybody loves Beyonce.
Too. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, true. Yeah, she is. She's actually
also in the 90s. Will Smith was probably the biggest movie star. In the 80s, it was arguably Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, and I assure you, white people like them just as much as black people do. We love them.
We didn't care.
We didn't care.
There's never been a shortage of support for black entertainers and athletes. Even during our most racist period in American history. It's never been
funny, which is funny, and I don't want to go to this point, but which really got me about the whole Kaepernick thing was like, dude, if anything, sports is one place where racism has gone away first. Like that was one of the first points where we saw walls coming down was, black athletes in baseball and football and basketball and all this kind of stuff. That was one of the first places you saw barriers actually being taken down. And we just lost just this last week. Hank Aaron. I mean, come on. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, and this happened in his lifetime, and people are acting like this is just new shit. No, we've been past this shit. We've been through this shit. Fucking Martin Luther King died for this shit. I mean, and that was almost almost 60 years ago?
Yeah, and what's beautiful is a lot of us took, his big thing was judge people by their character. Most of us grew up that way, where that is actually what was instilled on us from the day we were born.
Exactly.
You know, schools weren't segregated. I went to school with black kids. I shared my cookies and my milk just like they shared with me. We grew up together.
I have
it
slumber
was
parties.
all
I had
gone,
black
it
kids, white kids, Asian kids. You know, we were
Yes.
all over people's houses. You expected to have pretty much all kinds of races, especially from school, at functions, at parties, going to events,
absolutely.
hanging out with each other. You expected that. If anything, you expected more things to be integrated. I'll even say, for example, rap music. I knew more white kids and Asian kids and Latino kids that like rap music. And when I went over to Europe, rap was even bigger in Europe than it was here.
Why do you think rap was such a big problem? It wasn't because of the message. It was because it was, it's this black music poisoning the white community. That's the way that the fucking left saw it back then. That's the other thing that people don't remember is that the people who went after all the black musicians in the late 80s and 90s were most of the time left-leaning, like Tipper Gore. They were the ones who started the whole fucking thing. And who did they go after? Mostly young black men.
2 Live Crew.
2 Live Crew, NWA, all of
But
that.
that's what makes this girl so. And the other lady too. I don't think she's that old. I know my first friends were white, black, and Asian. I'm pretty sure that's true for them as well. So they grew up in our generation, where probably the first generation to be truly completely integrated, and they're acting as if they grew up 40 years earlier.
Exactly.
And it's so bizarre. It is so odd to me that it almost seems like they are literally trying to segregate again. And it's so weird to me.
No, that's exactly what it is.
It's so weird and bizarre. And it's like against everything that was instilled upon me as a child. And it's like, why are we doing this again? Really?
And again, like I said, like I've said this a million times, the only places where I will still believe that racism or sexism is a prevalent thing is only in 3 major places: corporate America, Washington, D.C., and Hollywood.
Yep.
That's the only real 3 prominent places. And that's where the biggest reeing is coming out of this shit. Because everyday normal people don't deal with this shit on a normal fucking basis. Like I've brought up a million times, and out of all the times that I brought it up, maybe 1 or 2 times has somebody said that there's actually been an incident in their workplace where somebody was screaming sexual harassment or racism. And it's such a rare thing in the normal general world. You don't have casting couches at fucking McDonald's.
No.
Okay. Like it's not a normal thing. So I digress to this whole point again, and we should get to the super chats here and move on to the next point. But like the whole thing is just stupid and silly, and you guys have all made some great points about it. And yeah, if anything, this lady should have just come out and clarified her statements. Instead, Disney got behind her now. And go ahead, Jane. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that would have been done with it. And everywhere else you do see it are places where there are solutions now. You know, I talk a lot about, what I see in the criminal justice system, but there are solutions such as going to school, going to law school, becoming a lawyer, becoming a judge, becoming a police officer, and putting yourself in those positions where you can actually affect change. Not complaining on Twitter or running up and down the street protesting. That's just my opinion. But I think that you have options these days. You have solutions that are much more direct to address those areas where you do still have lingering racism or perpetuations of stereotypes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Exactly. And again, like I'm not saying doesn't ever happen anywhere, but it's not such a prevalent thing as it is in these other places. So it's just it's getting to the point where I'm so sick of it. And I know we all are. What I'm not sick of though is all these lovely super chats, and these guys are so loving to you, lady. While you've been chatting about this topic, so let's jump on those super chats before we get to the next bit of news here.
Cool beans.
Okay, I'll start first. Mr. Tickle Trunks for $2 Canadian. Thank you. So look at this, say super sticker, Shiva dog shaking his body from left to right, sound surrounded by red hearts. Is that the farting hearts?
Yeah.
I'll call them the farting
I
hearts.
call it
It's
the
cute.
Barton heart.
I like those.
I imagine they smell like strawberries and sweet tarts.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, Mandy, want to get the next one?
Yeah, Christopher Taki for $3. Thank you so much. Hail Zardoz. Well, yeah. I don't know what
I
that
don't know who it is.
You don't know what
but
Zardoz is?
no.
No.
Is this
Oh.
Buckaroo Banzai thing?
Boy, no.
What's Zardoz?
Who saw
What
this?
is
It's a Sean Connery movie. It's the one where he wears that one piece little red number.
The thing.
Yeah. The Mankini thing.
Yes. Oh my
Oh.
God. I've seen the box, like the cover of the box for the movie, but I've never actually watched it. But I've heard that it is one that I really need to get on and watch.
Sean Connery and a Mankini.
Yeah. It's
Turn it on
something.
now.
It's something.
Turn it on. Oh my gosh. Woo. Oh no, to see what
There it is.
Oh. I cannot understand that.
Look at them.
All right, now. Don't you see something you like?
That is terrible.
That's so awful. Was that the 80s?
I think it was either early 80s or late 70s. Yeah.
Oh
something
my gosh, it looks so
Gosh, I'm
freaking
gonna make that my
awful.
wallpaper.
Oh.
So I can get some of that every time I turn on my computer.
I know my eyes.
like. Now that is pure sex.
That's terrible.
Oh, Jane, you want to get the next one?
Hillis Mallory for $2. Thank you. Makes me not want to buy their books. No thanks.
Mhm.
I wouldn't have bought their books anyway, honestly.
I was not interested.
No,
Even
but I
the cover's
certainly,
terrible.
I swear, when these people say, like, throw their little, like, threat, I don't know if it's a threat, I don't guess so, but, like, if you don't like it, don't buy it.
Mhm.
We won't buy it.
No problem. No problem. I'm gonna go get.
to buy our books, you misogynist.
Look, I'm gonna go get me some ice cream and a soft pretzel, and I'll spend my money on other shit. Don't worry. I can find stuff to spend my money on. I'm good.
Oh my gosh. Nikki D for $5. Thank you so much for your super chat. 3 hiring qualifications for Lucasfilm. 1, be a professional victim. 2, have the correct political ideologies. And 3, know nothing about Star Wars. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And
You
it's
think
always
we have to
disappointing
know
too,
about
because this girl, she was a cosplayer and she actually had some good stuff. And I'm just like, why are you so why did you have to say these things?
I don't
You
get
could
it.
have been great.
Why is she so angry though?
I know.
What
so
has
angry?
happened to her that made her just get so when she seems to have her shit together? How do you get so angry?
I don't
odd.
get it.
It's
like
very
you
odd.
have all
Maybe
of it.
that's why
bad.
she's such a racist. She went and married a white dude, and he's just not getting it done.
You think that's-
Ah,
I could see how that would make someone really cranky and evil.
yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
but you just got the one bad one. Most of them can.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not most of them. Some can, some can't. If that's the case, you pick the short straw.
Yeah.
You get it,
Get 'em,
short straw,
Get them some remedial help or some books or something. I don't know.
right?
Fix that.
Exactly. Let's see. Matt G for $5. Thank you, Matt. SJWs are married despite that very act contradicts their beliefs. No matter what they say, they all afraid to die alone. Cowards, not a worthy adversary.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alex Acera for $4.99 says, ladies, double stupidity or thoughts on the Resident Evil reboot with Claire Redfield and Jill Valentine? Look at pics. They're cool. Bye.
Oh,
I've never seen the Resident Evil movies.
the movie? Oh, I know about the movie. I was about to get excited about the Village. The new Resident Evil is about to come out, and I'm like,
the game.
kill some shit. So there's village people, and they need it. So yeah, I was all excited about that. I don't know about the movie though.
Yeah, the movie they race swap some of the characters.
Oh, did they?
Lord,
Yeah.
Well, no surprise.
Oh, thank you. Next. Let's see. Silver Nova for $5 Australian. Thank you so much for that. I actually feel sorry for Christina. It must be truly miserable to live with so much hatred in your heart. Yeah.
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 She
Think of
must
what
be
that does
lovely
to
at
you.
parties.
They're probably like, oh no, not this chick.
Could you imagine her drunk at a party though?
Oh,
She
Lord.
would be the absolute worst when she either like 1 minute she's in the corner crying and then the next minute she's up on the coffee table making some grand speech. I mean, I just imagine her being like the worst person to take to a party.
Just like, why did you invite that?
Why did you bring her? Come on.
But it's true. It really does have to be miserable being that angry all the time and projecting it out onto everyone. It doesn't build you up.
Mm.
It really doesn't build you up
It doesn't.
at all.
No,
It's
the
horrible.
more she does it, the more it's gonna like embed itself within her heart, and she's going to, yeah. If it's not already there, because it sounds like from her tweets, it's already there. But yeah, it honestly, yeah, I feel sorry for it too. It's I would hate to wake up and feel that way all the time. That'd be horrible.
And it's going to give you wrinkles early too.
Yeah,
Oh, I know, right?
It ages you. It ages you.
So badly. Yeah.
It does.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Mr. Tickle Trunk for 5 Canadian. Thank you so much, and I love that name. I love that freaking name. Also consider Gina handles online trash thrown at her like an adult. Maybe Christina is the type to be immature and complain to her boss like a teenager. Yeah. Gina handles her shit, and she doesn't. As far as I've ever seen, she's never made tweets like what Christina did.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen that at all from her. So, yeah.
She's never played the victim either.
No, she ain't gonna play the victim. She ain't the victim.
She handles that.
Yeah. She's not even gonna pretend to play victim for a second. She owns her shit. So,
and it's excellent. I freaking
Dollified for $1.99. Oh, $1.99 super sticker, which is a pile of poop with a face.
And Roger Haynes for Canadian $1.99. A thumbs up super sticker. Thank you so much.
Thank you. 16-bit mascot for $5. Thank you. Hey, ladies, all of you are great and nice to see Jane on as well. Cheers. And Mandy Super Dead looks pretty dope. And Tom, well, Congo.
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 And I'm so glad you got Super Dead. I hope that you love it. Let me know what you think. I hope you like it, though.
Ooh. Marcos A for $9.99. Thank you so much. He says, good evening, ladies. Love the show. Can I get your thoughts on the support and tweeter trend for Gina Carano Saturday? Trended top 3 spot. Thank you, ladies. We love Gina Carano.
Was that from when it trended before?
I think it's when it trended before, but they're also planning to trend the We Love Gina Carano this weekend too, right?
Oh, the tweet storm. Okay, yeah. I did see something about that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Hopefully I can remember to do it.
Yeah, same here. Tag me in a tweet so I can remember.
Because I will forget, and I don't want to forget this.
Right, but I know I will. I know I will if somebody doesn't tag me and remind me. So
exactly.
It'll be fun.
Mandy, do you want? Oh man, if we could do a Carano on this show, I'd lose my mind.
Right?
Oh my god!
Right, I will fangirl out like nobody's business, y'all.
We'll be useless. Mandy, do you want to take this one from Matt?
Yeah, I can do this. A Matt G for $2. Thank you, Matt. Like, oh my God, Mandy, what is this ceramic racism? As if.
I love it. Oh, Matt Jesus Hoot. Machiny 90 for $10. Thank you so much for your support. The underlying problem is that they love to hold white people to a higher standard than everyone else and keep non-whites to a lower standard, pretending that they're protecting them. It's insulting. Yes, it's called the bigotry of low expectations.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's called. I've seen it in academia. I've seen it, you know, in the professional world. Like they talk about there's not enough minorities in STEM and in STEM careers and all of that. But then some of them expect to just get hired because they're black. No, that doesn't work that way.
Mm-mm.
And then you have people who
But
want
math
to
is racist.
Math is racist. Well, then I must
It's
be
hard.
racist mofo with all the math that I've had to take. But yeah, it's pitiful when you see people trying to make excuses for minorities that aren't as qualified, and once they fail, they want nothing to do with them. It's just like, whatever. I'm done. And they just wind up using that person. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But then they keep this mantra going in the heads of their children generation after generation about how much harder you have to work to just, basically break even. I mean, it's something mental with both those thoughts. Why can't you just do your best and go about your business like everyone else?
Exactly. Because if you have that talent, no one can take that away from you.
At all, ever.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Exactly. Okay. Doyle. Oh wait, do I go now? Because
No, I think Jane goes.
Okay.
Yeah, Jane's doing it.
Doyle Hargrave for $2. Thank you. He says, imagine if Disney did background checks when hiring. I think they did. This is what they wanted.
Yeah,
wait, did they hire a teacher too though?
they've hired plenty of them at Disney parks. I mean, you see, there's raids regularly. When I lived in California and when I lived in Orlando, you would always see stuff in the newspaper about how people who like to be around underage kids, how they're being busted for stuff like that regularly. And someone would say, well, don't they have background checks? Well, sometimes it doesn't catch everything. Sometimes they don't catch everything. And like you guys were saying, this is who they wanted. So sometimes it's, forget a background check. They'll just hire them.
They saw her tweets. I'm sure they knew what she was tweeting.
Oh yeah. This is who they wanted.
Yeah.
This is who they wanted. If you
They
remember,
probably
the
hired her
whiteboard-
because of those. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you've ever seen the graphic of that whiteboard for the High Republic with rival houses and diversity and dinosaurs and crap like that, this is exactly the type of person they wanted to hire.
I didn't watch the last one just because the other ones were so god awful horrible. I couldn't waste my time watching the last one. Were there dinosaurs?
Well, this is for the High Republic, I think.
Yeah, it's for the High Republic.
Oh, that was the High Republic that had the board up for were there dinosaurs in there?
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Oh fuck.
I want to see I want to see a show called Diversity in Dinosaurs. I don't know why.
See, yes, I could write that book, Tom.
Awesome.
I could make that happen.
Make me a part of it.
I bet you they discriminate against velociraptors, though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're too smart and they're too threatening. And
yeah. But nobody's going to stand up for the T-Rex, even though he's got the little arms. Ain't nobody going to.
Nope.
Ain't nobody going to take up for him.
Some days I feel like a T-Rex trying to make his bed.
Oh, that's sad. That's so sad.
Stephanie Little Page, hello, for $1.49. Thank you. Super sticker, a white doomicorn. Well, unicorn with rainbow hair. Let me see. Doom.
I miss Mary, but I think that was very good. I think that was a good doom. You didn't even add the extra doom like I did.
Machiny 90 for $10. Thank you. He says, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I have to be racist toward white people to keep hold of my blackness street cred. Being black is being yourself. Don't need no damn certification to prove it. Exactly.
I'm blacker than some of these motherfuckers. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, but
Oh, that's funny. Oh, let's see.
there's just some real world problems if you're a T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Take it forever.
You got some problems as a
Yeah.
T-Rex.
Yeah, how can you fold laundry? Do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be challenging. The Makini 90 for $5. Thank you. Carlton said it best. Being black isn't what I'm trying to be. It's what I am. I'm running the same race and jumping the same hurdles as you are. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Tim Riggs for $10. Thank you, Tim. Y'all should look into Florence at the end of the 15th century. This is the next bonfire of the vanities, not the novel, The Destruction of Art. It will last a generation, but we will get past it. I hope so. I mean, I know we'll get past it. You know, this too shall pass. I'm kind of hoping it doesn't last a generation, though. I mean, you're probably right, but I want shit to go back to the way it was in the 80s. I want my video stores back. I want a Blockbuster, and I want all of this bullshittery to end. And I want good Star Wars, and I want good movies again. I just want to go back to the 80s. Somebody build me a time machine. That's what we need to work on.
I just don't want to pay fines if I don't rewind my videotape. I'm just saying.
Oh, I never did that anyways.
I don't want VHS back, but if I can take my Blu-rays with me, I'm game.
So would you hop in the DeLorean? Let's go. Let's go back.
Marty!
Tim Riggs for $5. Thank you. Far too many people know far too many lovely, wonderful women who happen to be black to buy into the angry black woman stereotype.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's
such a media BS.
It is. It really is. And I feel sorry for the people that actually like believe that stereotype that that's everybody, because that means they haven't met like wonderful black women like you ladies. They haven't met because there's no way they could possibly believe that that's the norm. It's really not. Again, it's 1 in 100 maybe. 1 in 100 is pissed off about something. But no, mostly they're just living their lives, you know, just like everybody.
Yep.
The left tends to perpetuate it through Hollywood, and
that's exactly what I was gonna say. That's how they perpetuate it. I'm trying to remember which. It was a Tyler Perry movie, I think. Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and somebody tried to say that she was angry. She's like, "No, I'm not angry. I'm mad as hell." But she had a good reason for it. But there's just Hollywood would do that stereotype of just the angry black woman, angry at everybody, angry at her man.
Did you know that Medea is a guy?
No. You're playing, right?
No, I'm super serial.
You didn't know that, Mandy?
Well, of course I knew that.
We're being funny. That's the joke. Like, it's clearly obvious.
You know, I was aggravating Tom.
Like, you don't know. I know. She's just playing along with the joke. Yeah, like it's obvious. Like, Tyler don't even fucking try. He don't even go like the
RuPaul.
Motherfucker just puts on a wig.
Yeah,
no, that's like the movie White Chicks, and you saying you didn't know they were really black. No, I knew they were black.
That's one of my favorite movies. Oh,
I love that movie. It's so great. It's funny.
I love it. I love it.
Funny.
So many lines in there. Oh my god. Oh, let's see. Where are we? Oh, okay. Tim Riggs for $2. Don't feed the attention trolls, especially biatches. Yeah, you don't. You have to kind of be specific, because some trolls are fun. And you just kind of smack them over the head and ignore them for the rest of the time. But, you know, they have to be interesting trolls. But your garden variety, boring, you suck trolls, they're bumping people.
Yep. Tim Race for $10. Wow, Tim, thank you so much. Disney can back her, won't earn the money from fans. No, exactly. yeah, they're losing fans just every day. There are more and more people turning their back on Disney, and I can tell you now that if the SJWs win and they cancel Gina, there will be a mass of fans turning their back on Lucasfilm Disney. It will not be pretty if they get rid of her, because we adore her. So, but yeah, no, they're. I mean, like I said, I didn't even watch the last Star Wars, and I love Star Wars, and I didn't even bother.
I haven't watched it either. I can't push the play button. I
mean, why would I waste an hour of my time, or an hour and a half of my time on that piece of crap? No.
I got better things. I can watch 90 Day Fiance or something.
Exactly. I can watch Love After Lockup. I can watch 90 Day Fiance, and all of my trash TV is still better than that new Star Wars.
At least it's entertaining me. Shoot.
Right. Stone Gasman for $20. Thank you. He says, missing Mary Mayhem, but you lovely ladies are carrying the show with power and conviction. Love you, Mandy and Jane, but have a question for Lorena Creel. While the Jeffersons was hilarious, do you remember my fave Sherman show? Amen.
Yes, shine out the light from heaven, Lord. Shine on me. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I remember that theme song.
Yep. Yes, I loved Amen. It was a great show. It was a great show.
It was good.
It was a wonderful show. Oh, thank you for bringing back such great memories with that question.
Quality television.
Yes.
Yep, when TV was good.
Absolutely. Let's see. L Punk Trace for 99 cents. A sleeping face emoji. Hopefully we haven't put you to sleep. I hope not. Or just resting.
Minnesota Fats for $10. Thank you. I can't believe in all this talk, nobody has brought up Dave Chappelle's Black Klansman Warlock sketch. That shit was funny.
That is the funniest thing.
Funny. Oh my God. Oh my God. But okay. Thanks for making my first live show an eye-opening experience.
You're very welcome.
How cool is that? No, that Dave Chappelle skit I was crying laughing at that. It was so funny. Oh my gosh.
I can't believe they did that. I'm like, no, they can't be going farther than this. And they kept going and they kept going. They kept going. And the lady at the orphanage, she said, well, we figured since he was blind, it didn't hurt. Let's go ahead and tell him he was white.
And he's sitting on the porch. I mean, the shit he was saying. Oh my gosh.
And why he divorced his wife. Holy crap. Yes, we're laughing at that because it's freaking funny.
It's funny.
And if you don't laugh at it, you have no soul. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Where are we right now?
Thanatos? Felicitas. For $5. Thank you. Bless her evil little heart. Disney won't get any money from me.
I don't blame you.
Don't blame you.
And I'm a Disney stockholder, and I'll tell you that.
Yep, I don't blame you. Speak with your wallet. If you are unhappy with the way a company is doing something or what they are producing, don't buy it.
Right.
Tell them with your wallet. I mean, I'd write them an email too, but tell them with your wallet, because that is what will get them to listen. That is what will make them hear us. And that's what it's really going to take, is enough of us to get together and quit fighting about stupid shit that doesn't matter, and literally come back together and make entertainment good again.
Better yet, if you can make it as an angry mom on the news, that shit carries pretty far.
Yes.
Especially if you got one baby on your hip, because then they know you've got a troop that's going to be into this Star Wars stuff. So they will pay attention if a mom gets upset.
I don't know if they ever give a shit when I'm mad.
Are you kidding? When I was a kid, there was nothing scarier than a mom that was pissed.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no,
at
the
it with
mom
your
look.
ass. Yep.
That mom look. It's like the booming dad voice that you knew when you heard it. Like when I heard my dad, like that booming voice, I'd run in my room and put on every pair of panties I owned so it would make a padding because I knew a spanking was going to come. So I'd pad that shit up.
No, but all it took for back in the day is just one angry mom on the news, and you get a movie shut down, a TV show like Beavis and Butthead, a video game, like that's all it took.
That's it.
Dang it, I need stuff to entertain my kids. You need to get with it.
Right.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Who's next? Am I next?
I think you're next.
I think so.
Okay. Big Z for $5. Thank you. Thought exercise. Exchange the word white with black. Now are Christina's tweets appropriate? Answer: no in both situations. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Correct. You could put,
Absolutely correct.
yeah, you could put any race, religion, creed, sexuality in there, and it's wrong. It's generalizing an entire group. It doesn't matter what group. She is generalizing an entire group as being horrible human beings, and so no matter what, that is wrong.
Exactly.
No matter how you look at it.
Right.
Totally.
Let's see. Snowrom 11. I'm not even gonna try. Thank you, Snowrom 11. For $5. Mandy is delivering Super Dead this week. I haven't read it yet, but the artwork is amazing. Excellent job. I look forward to completing the read. Oh, well, thank you so much for backing. I hope you love it. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'm very excited to hear what people, what people think about it. So thank you so much for backing it. And thank you for being here tonight. That's awesome.
Minnesota Fast for $5. Thank you. Speaking of the Civil War, guess which party was long called the Party of the Confederacy?
Democrats.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And another thing too, remember they had Northern Democrats as well.
They did.
And they all worked together.
Well, there was quite a bit of compromise going on back then. So
Oh yeah.
angels on either side.
Silver Nova for $5 Australian. Thank you so much. The woke don't care about racism, sexism, bullying, or the environment. They only want one thing: control over others. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they lose their crap when you have the nerve to not do what it is that they demand that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't. It's completely about control. 100%. It is. This is all a control mechanism. How much can I get away with not doing without being called out? Like, I work for Disney. How little do I really got to work on this script? If I work on it for 45 minutes, I think I'm done. I've done all I could. That's the best I can bring. And they don't want to be called out on it. And when you do, it's, oh, but no, you're racist, or you're this ism, or you're this. It's control. It's control to be shitty. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Is it on me?
Yes.
Okay. No, wait for $2. Thank you so much. Zardoz was good under 70s crap. Love the twist. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that. There's another one. It's something like Ice Pirates or something is another one that I'm supposed to like.
Ice
watch.
Pirates is awesome.
I haven't seen that in ages.
Is it? You watched it?
I think I watched it. I think I was bored and I was broke and I needed something to rent and watch. So I think that was it. That name sounds familiar.
It's supposed to be good. So I will have to watch that though.
It's basically Star Wars meets Mad Max, but instead of gasoline, it's water. So like everybody's after ice. It's in space. It's awesome. It's fucking hilarious. It's got a great cast.
That's awesome.
It's not the first movie I saw in the theater, but it's my earliest memory of a movie in the theater. Because I specifically remember like a couple scenes from the movie when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The John Beck for $5. Thank you. Lorena Creole, hilarious Batwoman season 2 episode 1 review. Mandy, looking forward to Work 2. Jane Theory, I'm cautiously hopeful about Snoopy. Trailer looks good. Yo, Tom.
Oh God, that Batwoman review. Oh man.
I watched this trailer while you ladies were talking before after I saw that super chat.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Peanuts fan. Well, I wouldn't say huge, but I'm a pretty big Peanuts fan.
I'm a
Same
big
here.
fan. I have so
Same
many
here,
books.
Yeah.
This looks cute.
It's very cute.
It's in this. It's not exactly the same animation style, but it's close.
Mhm.
And it's basically about it shows Charlie Brown getting Snoopy as a puppy, and then it's just more revolved around Snoopy's little adventures.
Mhm.
Oh,
You know,
Aw.
that sounds
I'm gonna love
cute.
that. I hope they bring in his cousin, the one that's like from Texas.
Spike?
Spike, yes, I love Spike. He makes me laugh when I see that little mustache.
I haven't seen him in ages. What network is this going to be on?
This is unfortunately going to be on the Apple network
Yeah.
because they bought the Peanuts here recently. So
Yeah, that's right.
I have Apple
it'll be
Plus
on Apple Plus, yeah.
free for I think until April. So
So
okay.
it looks cute. I have high hopes for it. If you're a fan of classic Peanuts, I mean it's pretty much in the same traditional style. I'll play a few seconds here, but
the Red Baron.
yeah, it's just all about his little adventures that he does, and
That looks fun.
Oh, he's a dirty dancing.
I like this one. This bit's here is cute. It's so Snoopy.
Oh,
That's gonna be adorable, I
I'll have to
think.
check that out.
Damn
That
it,
looks
now I gotta
so
get Apple.
cute.
I didn't want to get Apple. I held out.
I
but
know, right?
They finally came with something that I want to
Really?
watch enough to get it.
I only have it because I bought
And
it.
I agree with you, Galford's dog, but some of the best Peanuts is really good. Like, I mean, as long as they get it in the right tone. Like, I didn't hate that movie they did a few years back, but I was like, this feels like a Peanuts greatest hits album.
That's yeah. that
And
would be
I was
one
like, I
thing.
was hoping they would kind of continue the story a little bit, maybe, or something. But it like felt like we've seen all this shit before.
Yeah, we know about the little redheaded girl. We're good. We've known about her since the Valentine's Day one.
That's what it should have been about, is him finally getting to meet her and shit. You know, like extending the story past the things that we've seen in all the specials. Yeah.
Exactly. It was okay though.
It was okay,
It
but
wasn't
you know.
horrible. I mean, it wasn't what I wanted, but this looks more like what I was wanting from the movie. So
Exactly, yeah.
I'm excited about that. That's cool.
All right. So yeah, thanks for pointing that out. I didn't even know that was coming until I just saw that trailer. So thank you. It just dropped today, I guess.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
Let's check it out. Okay, I guess it's me, the six. Valiant Renegade for $5. Thank you so much. Lorena, your new friend from New Orleans under a new alias. Oh, cool. You are so right. Bigotry of low expectations. Grew up in the South. Very real. Sad. Yeah, that just does such a disservice to people. Bigotry of low expectations. It really does.
Mhm. It does.
And they'll be the first ones to tell you, oh, but you don't understand. What do you mean I don't understand? I'm black. How do I not understand? It's crazy.
I hope this is not true. Clownfish is reporting that Disney is planning to ban Peter Pan and Dumbo because they're racist.
I haven't heard that. I heard they restricted viewing of those, like if it's a profile and your kid is like under 7 or something like that. I heard
Maybe
that they
that's what it is.
blocked
yeah.
to do it, but yeah, I think that may be what you're talking about.
What the hell is that racist? I'm trying to remember what's racist in Peter
And Peter Pan, I get why with Dumbo. I
The crow
get
scene, yeah.
the crows.
With Peter Pan, Tiger Lily,
Yeah.
the Indians, Tiger Lily,
Oh,
and what
okay.
made the red man red. I mean, I saw it a couple
Gotcha.
years ago.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I can remember. Okay, yeah. I can.
Yeah, because they're trying to pull that. They're trying to get Disney to pull that scene, Disney World to pull that scene out of the Peter Pan ride.
Here's my thing is, okay, if they're actually just putting it under some kind of restriction, yeah, age restriction under 7 says a great one. That's fine with me, because then at least it allows the parent to have the conversation with the kid and without cutting the movie. Because
Yeah.
Disney has done that time and time. And like, I'm surprised they didn't just cut the fucking movies.
Yeah. Now they just give warnings like they
That's
do, Lady with the
I hate that
Stamp about
compromise.
tobacco. I hate that. Just
I
because
hate the
it's bad,
compromise,
right.
but
Well, I mean, even they're cutting it doesn't mean we're gonna forget it. It's
No, that's
back
the
to what I was
problem.
saying before.
Trying
It's
to
just
erase
assuming that we're gonna
history.
forget.
if anything, it makes it worse, because look at an entire movie that's been cut, Song of the South.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It has created some kind of aura around the movie that the movie isn't even really that bad or that good
No,
in
it's
both
just there.
directions. It's just there. Like, yeah, it's like you created this huge thing about this movie when it really isn't that big of a deal. I mean, it is, but it's worse that you're calling more attention to it and creating an aura of it. That
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Valiant Renegade for $5. Thank you so much. And Tom, thanks for the work you do, and Andre and Rob do every day, and for putting this
thank
great
you.
panel of fabulous ladies together as well on Midnight's Edge.
Oh,
Well,
thank
they
you.
do all the work for this show. Like, I can't take very much credit at all. I just basically show up. So, yeah, as far as this show, they do everything. So, kudos to them on that. And yeah, I'm sure Andre would say the same thing. And thank you for the kind words. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Mm.
Matthew Sturgis for $19.99. Thank you. Sad to not have Mandy, but happy we have Jane Theory. I guess he's talking about
Mary.
Mary.
I think he meant Mary. Yeah, probably.
So if I identify as a T-Rex sexual, do I not have to make my bed? If so, my pronouns are Rex and Rar.
I got to look that up. Oh, sorry. I didn't know. I thought you were done. What was the rest of it?
The second will be screamed.
I'll have to look that up for you. I'm not sure on that. That's a very good question.
I'm going to say any part T-Rex and you get out of making your bed. I mean, that seems fair. You got the little arm. You shouldn't have to make your bed. That's completely, no, that's not right.
I'm going to take a note.
Oh, well, we have the John Beck for $2. It's a Southern Thing. Good channel. Oh, it's a Southern Thing. THANG. Yes, with the Southern Food Pyramid. Yes. I love that channel. Oh my God. I love it. It's like I watch that and I miss all my relatives.
I'm so fat, and if I went down south, I'd be so much fatter.
Dude.
I wouldn't be eating shit like frog legs, but I would definitely, like, from just all the country fried everything.
Oh yeah,
fried steak, fried catfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be totally fucking
fried everything.
Fried chicken, fried country fried steak. Yeah, no, we fry everything.
Biscuits, yes.
Yeah, everything gets fried, and if it's not fried, there's so much butter in it.
Oh,
so much butter in everything.
Now you're talking.
We do. Yeah.
Now you're talking. Gravy on everything, says
gravy, gravy on everything.
Oh, yes, gravy
down home cooking. Oh,
everything. Yeah.
How much is it gonna cost to get me some Southern lady to come up and cook for me all the time? I'm taking application. I need a housekeeper anyway, because I can't keep up with myself. But anyway, speaking of keeping up, what we got for super chat? Or what are you gonna say, Mandy?
I was going to say, I don't think housekeepers are going to keep up with what you're doing. They're just going to clean your house.
That's what I need. Yeah, like I can't keep around here. I can't even keep my shit straight.
They're not going to be doing any editing for him.
No. That's what I need. I need to be able to forget about everything else so I can edit. That's my problem.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. I got 2 kids, as in cat and a dog. My other kid's a grown up now, so he can take care of himself for the most part. But I got the 2 kids. You know, they need constant attention.
That does happen with fur babies.
Fur babies, yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
All right, where were we? Speaking of catching up, let's get caught up on these super chats here, because I know you ladies had a couple more things you wanted to talk about, or at least one thing for sure. I know.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's-
to you, Mandy. Hmm?
Okay, Jack White for $5. Thank you so much, Lovebug. SJW's the perfect example of why parents need to discipline their kids when they act obnoxious. Oh yeah. There's been, I have seen on Twitter for a fact, there are a lot of people whose parents spared the rod a little bit during their raising, and now they're running around like wild banshees.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was one thing that was taken away from me as a parent that I just don't understand. And it's not like I've got like this idea that I want to beat the hell out of my kid.
Oh, of
you know?
course.
But it's like I've been in so many situations where it's just like, I've been afraid to or thought twice about it, giving him a spanking just because of all this stupid bullshit. And, growing up, it was because I got my butt whooped at very specific times in my life that I don't play in the road or stick my finger in a fucking light socket or take candy from strangers in white vans. If they're in a station wagon, it's okay. No, just kidding. Don't take candy from strangers, kids.
No. Or give free hugs.
Yeah, evidently that'll get you in trouble anymore.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Stephanie Little Page for $5. Thank you. I love watching the ladies of toxic femininity. They all make me laugh when I'm having a bad day.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie.
Well, these ladies do definitely light up my Monday night every night, because especially by Mondays, I'm just so ragged, and it's like I just need that extra boost, and these ladies always give me that extra boost. That's for sure.
Oh, thanks, Tom.
That's so sweet.
Well, and I'm sure the audience feels it as well, because there's still 450 of you watching, and if you'd hit that like button to show some love, we'd appreciate that. We got a few more super chats left here before we move on. I know that. Where are we at?
Stephen?
Who's next to read?
I think it's Lorena.
Okay. Stephen Otten for $5. Mandy, I'll meet you in 1985 by the clock tower.
Yeah, boy, I'm going to gut it to 88. I went back. We're going to Blockbuster first thing.
21 gigawatt.
We're going to rent Critters. We're going to rent the Ghoulies.
Oh, Ghoulies.
Why do you got to be married, Mandy? I don't like that.
All right, Jack White for $5. Thank you so much. Hopeful silver lining that the next generation of parents see these SJWs' obnoxious behaviors and make sure to punish their kids when they act that way. Yeah, a lot of parents are scared too. Honestly, like Tom said, it's you. Now they have made it quite scary to do, like, when I say corporal punishment, I'm not saying beating your children, but my mom used to pop me on the butt with her hand often, or slap my hand or something. And nowadays it is, the world's changed. It's scary now to really do that. But I'm hoping that there will be a turning point to where people would just mind their own freaking business and start being nice and not worrying about what everybody else is doing. And if you don't like Star Wars, don't watch Star Wars, but don't try to change it, that type of thing. We'll see. Fingers crossed. I hope you're right.
Yeah.
If they lose more money, maybe.
Yeah, they don't
really care.
I wonder what that would be like too, to be so rich that like you literally could be like looking at reports like, well, if we keep this up, we've already lost, 300,000 this quarter, and the next quarter we're due to lose, another $250 million, and then just be like, we got it.
Yeah.
No worries here. I mean, what would that be like? Because I'll lose $10 out of my purse, and I'm like, the hell that $10 go? So I can't fathom. Speaking of which, check out this awesome shirt, you guys.
Yes, you must get one of these. I have two. I have one in black and one in pink.
Hells yeah.
I didn't know they come in pink. I
didn't know they came in pink either.
Yeah, they do.
All kinds of different colors. And you can even get hoodies.
Oh. I need a hoodie too. It's cool. Yeah, dude, are those tank tops? Are the crop tops?
I think so.
Halter?
Well, I'm not 100%. You'd have to look. But yeah, we definitely have the hoodies here.
Those are badass.
There you go. And the link is in the chat or in the description. And so, yeah, that answers that question, Stephanie. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's how you get those lovely t-shirts. I have one myself. Mandy, have you gotten yours yet? I'll have to get on those guys and get them your shirt.
No, not yet.
Gotta get one.
I'm sure I'll be like doing dancing and stuff in it once I get it. Like, yeah, look at me.
Yeah, I'll get that sent out to you. And we also got a code also so you guys can get a discount. And I'll see about getting a discount again for the folks out there. It's been a while since we've gotten one. So I'll try and work on that for next week. How's that sound?
That sounds great. Yes. Yes.
All right. Because we're also going to be bringing up a very awesome shirt. Probably for a limited time. I haven't decided yet.
Tom,
Is it what I think it
is
is?
it what I think it is?
Is it what you think it is?
Please say it's what I think it is. Is
It
that
might be.
special art?
Yes, it's a very, very special art from a very special, not kid, some person.
Oh my gosh, you did it.
They're officially on the job, making it happen. We're gonna get the Amber
Hell.
Turd shirt.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I'm gonna wear that so much. I swear.
Hopefully, it should be up this week. My fingers are crossed because we've been working on it. Because like the guys were working on the vector graphics and stuff, and or whatever you call it. I don't know if it's whatever it is. And they showed me the one, and they're like, "Well, if you do a colored shirt, it's gonna look like this." I'm like, "No, we can't do that." So yeah, we're trying to work on everything to make sure it's good for everybody. You know, no matter what color you want. So
Is the duvet cover coming too?
is the which one? Oh, the cover. Yeah, Andre looked into that, and he's like, "We can possibly make that happen, I guess, or some kind of like you can have printed covers or whatever." So like, that's a very big possibility. We don't know how well it would sell, but
Yeah, that's freaking funny.
we'll have to see on that. We'll definitely check into that. That's definitely something that's been on the agenda for sure.
Yes.
Let's get back to these super chats, though. Thank you so much, guys, for the super chats you've been sending us here. Where are we? We're on
Willie Woodward for
Mhm.
$2. Thank you.
just signed a donation. Didn't send anything.
Thanks, Willie.
Thank you, Willie.
Stephen Otten for $5. Thank you. They tossed people off of the Stardust app for reviewing Song of the South.
For reals.
Really?
That's ridiculous.
That's weird.
That's nuts. I never understood why people were so freaked out about
Every time.
Song of the South.
Every
because-
time. Yeah, go ahead. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I was gonna say I used to have the like Burr Rabbit books when I was a
too.
kid, and my grandmother bought them for me. You know what? My grandmother would actually tell Burr Rabbit stories too. Yeah.
I mean, really, Disney didn't have any bad intentions with that movie. What they were trying to do was bring those stories to everybody.
Exactly, which is what I explained to some people. I said, when I go to Splash Mountain, I see the stories that my grandmother used to tell me. And granted, yes, some of the scenes are a little outdated, but it's just culturally outdated. There was nothing, nothing racist about it. I said, I really doubt my grandmother would have told me racist stories and told my father the same stories, too. That's just ridiculous.
Well, right. Like you said, they're a product of their time, and the movie itself was a product of its time. And it had the best intentions. It wasn't trying to be a racist movie in any way.
No.
In fact, it was actually, if you look at it, it was probably pretty progressive for the time. Considering, and again, I'm not trying to make
considering the time frame. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not making any excuses for the stuff in it that is kind of probably borderline or racist. But at that time, like they were genuinely trying to make a movie for everybody with.
Yeah. They were trying to make a family film. And like I told people, Uncle Remus talked a lot like a lot of my older, like great uncles, great aunts would speak. That was just how they spoke at the time.
Right.
And times have changed and people don't really speak that way anymore. So I can understand the need for an update, but don't just yell and scream and say this racist.
But a lot of things back then that were racist were also comedic. So, I mean, you had this blurring of lines where sometimes things weren't intentionally offensive.
Right.
Yeah. It was also funny because it was.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say is they weren't intending to be racist in any way. Like, I'm sure their true intention was to bring this type of a story to the masses. Like, and like I was saying, at that time, it wasn't normal for, you know, a black led film with a black story with,
Right.
you know, prominent black characters, regardless of the situation of the story that it's being told in. Like Lorena said, these are stories from her grandparents' childhood and beyond that were passed down through generations, and that was kind of the point of the movie, was to you know, actually present these stories to everybody and kind of like make a and it is almost like erasing history in a way.
That's exactly what they're doing. And as a history major, it's disturbing because those, you know, who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So, you know, I am very learn from history, you know, but don't try. I mean, because already history, you're only getting what the victors saw, you know, you don't get a lot of history from the losing side. Right. So, you know, it's important as humans to continue history.
And I can imagine that there's a lot of situation now with the culture we're in where a lot of these type of stories are not going to get passed down to further generations.
No,
it's gonna stop, and
all that culture, you know, lost.
Yeah. And that's really what Disney was trying to do. And I'm not trying to like glorify him or anything like that, but that was the whole point, is he was celebrating black culture with this film, regardless of the situation the movie is presented in.
Right.
I mean, that's really what it was all about. And I'm not trying to, like, you know, say good for him or anything, but it is kind of that way. It's because at that time that was very progressive.
They presented it in that way because that's what was palatable at that time.
Yeah.
Well, not just that.
True with a lot of everything else we saw coming from Disney at that time.
Not just that. I think Lorena, and this is my opinion, of course, is hitting it on the head. Is the whole point they were, you know, we have these stories that are passed on through generations, and these stories need to get out there, and they probably knew as well, you know, the same thing with all the classic fairy tales and the other myths and other things that they bring to the table that aren't necessarily, you know, racially motivated. But this, to me, I feel like for them to try and shut this movie down is really shutting down a big part of Black history, especially in cinema.
I agree about the story being passed down. It was just how they did it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Was the part they did it a certain way. And I think they did it a certain way on purpose, because had they done it differently in a more respectful fashion, it wouldn't have been accepted.
You're probably right about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's given the times that they were in.
The time,
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And again, I always reiterate, whenever anybody brings it up and the more Disney wants to bury it, there's a 35 millimeter rip out there available of the film. If you really want to find it, it's not that hard.
I've got the VHS.
It's been out. Yeah, it's been released before. It's not like it's never been released either. That's the thing.
Because I remember seeing it.
It was actually one of Disney's first VHS films released.
Yeah, I know that, I don't remember why, but I know that right after it came out, they had a big lawsuit and there was a big thing, and then they had to take it away, and then it came back, and then it got taken away. So this movie is probably the one that Disney, from their older movies, go,
Bob Iger has flat out said that as far as he's concerned, it'll never see the light of day.
Yeah, it's never on a Disney Plus.
But that's okay, because I got my VHS. But again, I didn't that was not one of my favorite Disney movies.
No, it's not that great. I mean, the Brer Rabbit stories are fun, and it's really cool to see them animated. But outside of that, the movie is kind of boring.
Yeah. It was kind of. It's like read the books instead.
Yeah, read the books.
Yeah, I grew up with the books, like Lorena was talking about. I had the book with the records and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, I grew up. I didn't think nothing of it at the time. I never even thought about the whole black angle either. Like none of that ever dawned on me until people started jumping up about, oh, this movie's racist. Yeah,
right. Until somebody told you. Yeah, I never got that from it either. I just got, we're watching this again, not The Little Mermaid. All right, then.
Better.
And it's funny though, because like, people are pointing out Zippity Doo Dah. Like that song still transcends that movie because it was so popular at the time, like uber popular.
Yep. I still hum that sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. I'll still hum that. So
All right, we got a couple more super chats here. What do we got? We were
I think we're on
Tim
Tim.
Riggs, I think. Yep.
but I don't know who.
Who read the song of the South? Who read the
I
song?
did.
You did? Okay, so then I think it's Mandy.
All right, Tim Riggs for $1.99. Thank you so much. Tips for the ladies, and I'm a new Midnight's Edge Patreon. Wow, thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you for that. And we're also working on trying to get our membership stuff for YouTube too. So stay tuned for that. We're actually, if you guys want to tweet me ideas for stickers, that would help. The only one I got for the main channel so far is like just the logo and maybe a Frankenstein monster for when Andre says Frankensteinian mess. But other than that, I don't really have anything for. I got tons of them for Mead, tons of ideas for Mead, but we need some ideas for the main channel. So yeah, if you guys want to tweet at me some ideas for icons for the little membership deals, that'd be awesome. So, and thank you for that. That's amazing that you're part of the page.
Yay. Valiant Renegade for $5. Thank you. Added Mandy and Jane to my subs on new profile. Take some credit, dude. Been sending y'all plenty super chats under another profile until now. Well, thank you.
Oh,
Oh, really?
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so
What was the other profile?
You haven't said yet.
You got another one right after that.
Let's see, Valiant Renegade for $5. I'm thinking too hard to remember what the former name was. Dear Lord Tom, come down to New Orleans. My family and I will take you to a real dinner.
Ooh.
I would love that.
Dude, oh, the food in New Orleans. Oh my God.
I love me some scrimps.
Yes, scrimps. Have you had crawfish etouffee?
I have not, but I would probably try it. Like the point where I would probably put my line is like I would not eat frog legs.
No, I don't eat frog legs.
What about alligator and crocodile?
Forget that. I'll eat
I might
alligator.
try it. I don't know if I'd like it.
You
Because
love
I've heard.
it.
Here's the thing: is I've heard it's a lot like because I don't care for like sweeter seafoods like crab and lobster and all that stuff. I'm honestly not that big of a fan. I don't like the sweeter tasting seafoods, and people have told me that's what they taste like. But if it tastes better, then I've heard it's good with butter. So I don't know.
I've never tried it. I was offered it once, and I was like, "Oh hell no!"
I don't know. I wonder if I could even eat something that could eat me. That's always a good because like I had a chance to eat shark once, and I'm just like, I don't know. I think that's asking for bad karma.
Good. It was like a cross between catfish and chicken.
Yeah.
But it was fried, so I mean, you know.
I mean, almost anything fried, I'm willing to give it a shot because my heart hates me,
It's
and
good.
or I hate my heart, I should say. Is the
It
other
must
way.
be fried though. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good. Dipped in butter.
I mean, like, yeah, I'm sure I would find plenty of things I would love in the South, but the biggest problem is A, traveling, B, the time because of so much. Like this job, I love it to death, but it takes up almost every waking moment of my life. Like when you guys see me on there doing like Mead Radio or doing the video games and stuff, that's generally the only free time I have. And even then I probably should be doing something, but it's like I don't have something pressing at the moment to get done. So like, yeah, no, that's the only thing. So like, yeah, I would really love to be able to experience because I loved going to Vegas and I loved all that. And I mean, I think I would enjoy the South quite a bit. I love I'm not a big fan of humidity, but I love the food. I love the culture. And especially like, just the whole Southern hospitality, just whole kind of visage or whatever you call it. Just the whole idea of it. You know what I mean? Like, like that presented in commercials and stuff, just the whole, just the whole Southern comfort kind of thing, the whole thing. I love it.
Get ready to eat a lot.
Yeah, you would love it. Do not come in the dead of summer, or I swear you will hate it.
Yeah.
It is so hot, and the humidity, like literally, you walk outside and your skin is wet. Like you're wet. I mean, and you feel the moment you walk outside, you're like, ugh, I feel so nasty.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
The fall, the winter, or the spring, just avoid summer.
Yeah.
And you'll be
like October and April, I'd say that.
Those are about the 2 best months, around October or April.
See, like I've never actually tried like real gumbo and stuff. Like I
Oh Lord, yes,
Oh,
you
you
have
are
to have
missing out.
Dumbo.
like as long as
Oh,
I make
not
it at
too
home.
spicy, yeah, I'd be good probably. I'm willing to try just about anything unless it's some creature, like I said, that I would give a name or that could possibly eat me. Then I won't. Then I won't eat it. But yeah,
so do you eat deer?
I'm not actually a fan of venison. I don't hate it,
Hmm.
but where I'm from, it's pretty common. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of it though.
Mm.
I'm not against people who like eat it though or anything like that.
I gotcha.
I don't know whose turn it is.
They're car hazards. That's my main thing. It's like go ahead and hunt them. I don't care.
I think it's me. Let's see. Trace XL for $5. Thank you. Of course, they light up your lifetime. They're literally made of fire. Shout out to my magic buddy Mandy. Thank you, Trace.
Hey, Trace, my
Hell
partner
yeah.
in crime. How are you, sir?
Hell
We're
yeah,
bad
they fire. What was that, Mandy?
Trace and I are bad influence on each other. We've been buying magic cards, lots and lots and lots of magic cards. It's his fault, though. I blame him, and he blames me.
Well, you gotta have somebody to blame.
Right.
Gotta have somebody to put it on.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Trace XL. I guess I should have known that. I do watch some of your streams sometimes. When are you gonna have me on there? More than just the one time.
You can come on anytime you want to.
All right, I'll hold you to that.
I'm streaming tomorrow, and on the next day, and the next, and the next.
Let me put it this way. Basically, if you see me in your chats talking, then chances are that means I'm not busy.
Okay.
Because I listen to stuff all the time, and people don't even know I'm lurking.
Oh, all right. Deal. If I see you in the chat, I'm sending you a link. So check your DM.
Okay. I've told that to most people, and otherwise I will say if I'm like vaguely busy, but like yeah.
Or we'll say stuff like, "Send me a link. I'll talk about XYZ."
Yep. Give me a link. I want to talk about this.
I saw him do that the other day on oh gosh, I can't remember what stream it was. Maybe it was Nordrotic or something. He was like, "Send me a link. I want in there." And next thing I know, there's Tom, and he's like, "Let me tell y'all."
That happens a lot.
Oh my gosh, shit! Tom's about to go crazy over here. It was funny though.
I think you're next, Mandy.
Okay. Let's see. Jack White for $5. Thank you so much. Thank God for anime and manga. At the moment, news Shaman King anime in April. Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know what Shaman King is, but I assume
I've heard of it. I haven't read it, but I've heard of it.
Gen X Geek for $4.99. Thank you. I'm late to the party, family. Thoughts on this Gina Carano thing again?
Oh, well, we did touch on that a little bit, I think, in the last segment, but is that going to come up at all in the next segment? I can't remember.
No.
I think we're all pretty much in agreement on Gina. Like, we don't feel like she's really done anything wrong. We feel like she's been targeted unnecessarily. I don't think any of us really believe that Disney's going to fire her or they're trying to force her to apologize for anything. If anything, to me, I think that's just a bunch of bullshit coming out of a certain camp that doesn't like her politics, or her perceived politics, I should say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that she just doesn't like to bend the knee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, unless anybody else has anything to add. I mean,
Nope.
No, that's pretty much, yeah. Gina did nothing. She is amazing, and yeah, I think even with the trolls coming at her like they are, she's handling her shit. She is not even flinching about it. So
well, here's something I haven't even been able to comment on. Some idiot had the audacity to say that she's been really divisive lately. I'm like, how the fuck has she been divisive? There's been tons of people taking her shit out of context and creating division over it, calling her names just because she doesn't want to put her pronouns in her bio and all this other shit. How is she the one being divisive? I don't see her going out there and attacking anybody. I don't see her out there shoving any of her politics down anybody's throats. So you're telling me just a few vague tweets that may or may not have some standing one way or the other, or you liked a tweet or two here or there, that constitutes this bullshit? That coming from the side that loves to cram their fucking politics into every goddamn nook and cranny, wants to fucking make those kind of accusations? That's what I think is hilarious.
They continue to read everything they have in their heads into what she posts. And she seldom even posts words. She usually just posts memes. So it just doesn't make any sense.
Right. Let's grab this one right now since it's here. Trace XL says, Gina is badass. Haters be hating. Twitter can't stand that she's worth more sitting still than they are running at full speed. Simple as that. And he's 100% correct. You want to know why? She's basically come to the point where she's untouchable. She has reached the top of the list on the IMDb most searches list. She is a hot commodity right now. She could probably demand a salary of $1 million or $2 million for a movie right now if she wanted to. Like, she is hot, but the people who don't like her are the people in that fucking, think tank that are, stuck in their little bubble, who think that she's, a problem. She's problematic. But no, Trace, you're 100%, man. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why they're coming after her now, is because they didn't give a shit about her before. When she was just an MMA fighter and a side character in Deadpool. But now that she's in the biggest franchise in the world and she's got a platform, it's just like Cobra Kai. They didn't give a shit about it when it didn't have a huge platform.
Right.
Now that it has a huge platform, it's a problematic thing that it has 2 male white leads.
Yeah.
Over 40, no less.
Exactly.
Nuts.
We're also straight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with Gina. It's the same kind of mentality. She's not bending the knee. She's not, playing the fucking politics game, and what politics she's putting out there they don't like, and it rubs them the wrong way. And there's even people just trying to put shit in her words in her mouth, just like Jane was saying. They're projecting a lot of bullshit into her tweets and stuff and her likes. And doing like the stuff she did with Drunk 3PO is just something that's a big fuck you to those people.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a big poker up their ass.
That really upset them.
It really did.
I
How
mean,
dare you?
can you fathom for 1 second going up to somebody who is celebrity or not and trying to tell them what they can and can't have in their bio on Twitter? Who would give a shit enough to do that? Like, put your pronouns in again, it goes back to what's between your legs and what color is it? And I don't get their...
And who you want to fuck. That's the other part.
Yes, and I don't get their fascination with that. Don't worry about what's between people's legs. Don't worry about what color it is, and don't care who they're gonna fuck. Let them do it. Don't worry about it. It's so bizarre what they care about. I don't have time. I don't have time in my day to care about what.
As long as you ain't doing nothing to animals or children, I don't give a shit. As long as the other person is on board, hey, more power to y'all.
They refuse to just mind their own business. It's like
and it's so
they have to control what you have on your page.
Yes,
they should just as easily not look, but no,
or don't care. She's a genus or she's female. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what she goes
exactly.
with.
And not only that, you've seen her with men, so chances are, guess what? She's probably straight, if not at least bi. And maybe she doesn't want everybody to know that. That's the thing they don't think about.
Privacy.
She's private about her sex life. Maybe she doesn't want to. It's the most bizarre thing. I cannot fathom giving a shit.
Well, not only that, it was a big problem in the gay community for years of people basically forcing others out of the closet, and it would made them very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not everybody is ready for that. Not everybody wants that out there. Not everybody wants their bedroom activity put out on social media. It's one thing if you prefer to be called a her and you look like a him, that's fine. If you want to be called a they, then say that. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to look in your profile. I don't give a shit. It's not my fucking prerogative. But if I'm talking to you and you say, hey, by the way, I prefer you refer to me as she, I'd be like, oh, yeah, no problem. I have no issue with that. And that's the thing they don't understand, is that it's not like people are refusing to comply with somebody's wishes. It's the fact that we're not going to just sit there and bow down to your fucking demands.
Yes. And once you start putting demands on people, you've lost them.
Yeah.
You've lost them. From that point on, they would no longer give a shit what your opinion is, what you say. You lost any hope you had of ever getting them to see things your way.
And outside of, just my attitude and knowing that I have a son, there's nothing to tell anybody that I'm a straight male. They just assume that, right? So they're assuming my gender and my shit just by, calling me a cis male and a, misogynistic pig and all this bullshit. How do they not know I'm not bisexual?
Right?
How do they not know that at one time? Yeah, I did have a kid, but I decided, you know what? Dick is yummy. I didn't, but let's just say for the sake of argument, I did. Now, maybe if it was Az or Henry Cavill, we'd have a conversation here. But
I wouldn't be able to blame you on that one.
Yeah, Az is cute. No, I love Az. He's awesome. Happy birthday to him. I know he's not with me right now, but that poor guy is probably getting some much needed. But no, that's my point is they don't know and they're assuming a bunch of bullshit, but then they want you to force you to put that out there. And there's a lot of people, even when a lot of this pronoun shit was going down, I have friends that, are in the gay community and they don't like this shit. And they said the same thing. They said, like, this is shit that we fought against for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We did not want to be forced out of the closet.
Right.
We did not want to be seen by what we chose as our sexuality. We wanted to be seen as people first and foremost. And that's the thing is, and that's the other thing that I've heard a million other times too is, for years and years and years, we fought against these labels, these fucking labels that are constantly, put somebody in a category when now all of a sudden all these kids, they tattoo it on their fucking foreheads if they could. I've heard from one individual once.
Yeah, it's so, again, it's just so bizarre to it's almost like I wasn't, like, their thing is, well, I got all of these participation trophies. I got a trophy. I was told I was amazing all of my life, and now I'm an adult and I realize there's really nothing that fucking special about me. I'm a person. There's nothing. I'm just average. And so what did they do? They think, no, I can't be average.
Right.
Look at all these trophies I won. I was amazing when I was a kid. Ta-da! I'm a them now. Look at me, world. I'm a them. And it's so strange. I don't get it.
No, and then Captain Robert April's right. The gay rights movement was all about just being left alone, just not being persecuted and not being, killed. That's another thing that a lot of these kids don't understand nowadays about, the race movement or the sexual revolution as far as that goes. A lot of people died back in the day. It was like, oh, you boo-hoo. Somebody doesn't want to acknowledge your pronouns because you're forcing them to. Well, think about what your, forefathers went through. Like literally, like there's movies out there about it. Check it out. Yeah. That's the thing is these kids ignore the past and ignore the shit that people have went through to get to them to this point.
Yeah.
They absolutely do. And there is a negative effect because I don't know if they realize how many people they are actually turning, whether they mean to or not. All of this trying to force people shit is not working. You are making a lot of enemies where typically there would be none. There would be no. They're making.
Yeah.
It's having an adverse reaction.
Predecessors, is that a better word, Simon Smith? I didn't know what else to say. Okay.
I'm cool with that word.
I mean, yeah, like there was a huge movement throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s for women's rights, race rights, gay rights. I mean, you name it. And everybody already went through this shit. I don't understand it. But anyway, we're getting way deep in the weeds and I don't want to get too far.
Let's see. Here we are. Christopher Talk for $2. Nothing is racist about pancakes.
That's true.
I like pancakes.
I like pancakes.
Who doesn't? If you don't like pancakes, there's shit wrong with you.
Pancakes are delicious.
Yes, they are.
If you don't like pancakes, your ma was a shitty cook.
That's true. That is
pancakes are the best.
That's funny.
Yeah. Especially when they're actual pancakes, not flapjacks.
Yeah. I don't like flapjacks.
That's got to be a greasy motherfucking pan. I want crispy edges to my pancakes.
Just-
Listen to me. I'm like killing myself here. Like,
Oh, food. Ah.
Oh shit. Gen 8 Skeet for $4.99. Thank you so much. Black Cauldron is one of my favorites. Oh, me too. I want my munchies and crunchies. They just gotta get
they
crunchy.
actually have that in 4K on fucking movie. Don't got a Blu-ray release, right? But they actually have the movie in 4K on Disney Plus. Go figure.
They do.
I
They do.
haven't seen that the longest time.
Oh,
Black
good.
Cauldron. It's one of my favorites.
I want my munchies and crunchies. No,
Crunchies.
that was one of my favorite. And now I've gotten my son watching it too. So
Well, it's a great movie.
it is. That's a really, really good one.
Daryl Brewer for $20. Thank you. My question is, with all these stories / movies that they're having an issue with because of how white people are treating black people, what about how movies like The Color Purple show and depict black on black hate? Yeah, people complain about those too.
Mhm.
People complain about everything. If you can find something that you like, you can find another group that dislikes it just as much as you like it. It's just how vocal are those groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious if oh, sorry, go ahead, Mandy.
No, I was just gonna say, how big is their platform? You
Yep.
know, because and yes, if The Color Purple blows up and becomes this big worldwide phenomenon again, and everybody is watching it and they're remaking it and all of that, then they'll try to cancel that shit too. It's not being worth their time because, you know, it's a old book, not that many, you know, after high school, not a lot of people have read it unless you had to read it in high school. So
Yeah.
give it time. Give it
Yeah.
time.
'Cause
Guess
right
what?
now-
SJWs went back in time and fucking attacked that movie anyway. They went after Steven Spielberg for being the director.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the way things are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Don.
No, I was just saying, you had the greatest director at that time saying, I'm going to direct this story.
Mhm.
Clearly going to bring it so much more attention than any other director could, no, regardless of their skin color. But yet that was a problem.
And besides, now there's more emphasis on looking at the whole, you know, white on black crime supposedly, and just pretty much ignoring black on black.
Well,
crime.
that's why I think that the critics went after Django. I don't think they were so upset about the words that were being thrown around. I think they were just more upset about the slavery not being shown as such a black and white thing.
Mhm.
I think that's the problem they had with it more than anything. But that's
Possibly.
just
And I mean, there have always been complaints too, just generally about Hollywood and a lot of older depictions of black people, whether it's a predominantly black film or not. That's been a thing for a while.
I'm just sick and tired of it being a big part of the entertainment. I mean, it's one thing if you're telling a story like Django, where it obviously is a part of the story, but it doesn't. This kind of a thing doesn't need to be a part of Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't believe the bullshit like in the Mary Sue article, where obviously I believe they've got to be taking some quote from Boyega out of context, because I don't remember anybody, and I mean anybody, going after him
I don't either.
at all.
Well, he mentioned that he got DMs or something, but I don't know if they ever posted them.
And that's what I was gonna say. I'm not calling him a liar, but if he did, it's just from those few individuals that are just sick fucks, and they're not obviously Star Wars fans, because how could they be? Star Wars has always been pretty diverse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you're gonna have idiots on Twitter. If it was coming from Twitter, I wouldn't be surprised.
well,
But
yeah.
that's where you find people who are just angry and bitter anyway.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, you can't discount it being somebody trying to make it look like
Mm-hmm.
it's somebody from the other side. Like, that's the whole thing with, like, we found with the Kelly Marine Tran thing. Mecca and a couple other people traced this whole thing back to this marketing firm.
Mhm.
There was no real true, like, outside of just a few tweets that not tweets, but it was because I think it was on Instagram or whatever that this all went down. But, like, yeah, outside of the few that they found, they traced them all back to this. It wasn't even an actual account for a person.
Mhm.
So it was like started by this publicity firm, and Mecca was under the impression that it was completely started to get the result they did.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that either. I mean, that's the problem. Even if you look at some of this is why I don't argue with those little things on Twitter, because those personas oftentimes aren't real. I mean,
Yeah.
they post crazy stuff to trigger you or to bait you into a debate for
Mhm.
whatever reason, whatever their motivation. And it's like you're wasting all this time, and these things aren't even real human beings. They're not real people with real personalities. They're just trolls.
Absolutely. And I don't believe for a minute that Boyega got any real
No.
racist. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't get messages, but I have a hard time believing that any real true Star Wars fans, especially from the Fandom Menace side of things,
Mhm.
because if anything, we were the first ones pointing out, hey, they're doing him dirty. They're sending him to the back of the bus. Look what they fucking did. They stuck him with the token black girl in the third movie, and then they stuck him with Rose Tico in the second movie when he was clearly meant to be with Rey.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it ever
Exactly.
is fans, though. Like, even now, these people who are attacking fans,
Right.
they're not really fans. The people
No.
who start the
They're
trouble
fake
aren't
fans.
fans. Fans will like to just have fun. It's like
Mhm.
they just want to be angry. And that's not what fandom is about.
No, that Mary Sue article was just basically trying to paint all of the fans that have any kind of criticism about the movies as basically istophobes.
Mhm.
You know, and it's just ridiculous. And again, like I saw nothing but support from John Boyega from this community.
Yeah.
So
So did I.
I don't know what they're talking about there. So yeah, we're almost caught up here, and then we can move on. What do we got left here? We got
Let's see. We have Valiant Renegade for $2. Raina, still owe you some filet powder. Yes,
Ooh.
need that to make gumbo with because I'm not using okra in my gumbo. Mm-mm.
No, don't you dare.
Yeah.
Don't you do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Stone Gaspin for $5. Thank you so much. One more donation just because Mandy's accent is awesome and irresistible. Oh, well, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thanks.
yeah, she's been a big ray of sunshine to the
Mm.
program. Sorry, Jane, go ahead.
Oh, no. Stephanie Little Page for $5. Thank you. Now all we need to do is get Gina Carano on toxic femininity.
No
That
shit.
would definitely
No
break
shit.
YouTube.
Wow. Yeah, it would.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's sad though? When I heard Marion Ramsey die, the first thing I thought about was you, Jane. I'm like, oh no.
Oh yeah,
You might be a
I
book.
did too. I did too.
I just think
Lord.
she's got that little soft voice, and one of these days she's just gonna blow up on one of us, and we're just gonna be like, "Damn!"
Ray.
Yeah, that for some reason the first thing I thought of was you. I was like, "Oh no!" But all right, moving on. We've got where's
More.
next?
Is that me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Valiant. Oh God, it's getting late. Valiant Renegade for $2. Tom getting deep in the woods
Yes!
now.
As I was saying, I'm getting a little too deep in the weeds here. That was a more recent one. We're almost caught up. We got a couple more on the screen, and then we're caught up, and then yeah.
Trace XL for $10. Thank you. The biggest problem is that we have an entire generation of adults that as kids were always told they were special, but were never taught what to do in order to actually be special. 100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
No competition creates absolutely no growth.
Mm-hmm.
No reason for growth.
Mhm.
That's why these kids nowadays are griping that they've got, $30,000 or more in college debts, and they can't get a job because they majored in gender studies, and then they wonder why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Arasaka for $5. Thank you. You got me rolling using the Kevin Smith reference about the love of the male member.
Yeah, that's what the Dick Tastes Yummy comes from. Thank you, Aristaka. I did not make that up myself, no.
Hills Mallory for $5. Thank you. Black Cauldron was rated PG and was in theaters for 2 weeks before being yanked.
They fucked that movie up in theaters. It should have been kept the way it was. They should have allowed it to be a PG-13. It had been the first and that's really what they were trying to do at that time. That's what I don't understand. Because at that point, Disney was like flailing. They're like, well, we need to bring in a more adult audience again. And that's why the Black Cauldron was so dark, was because they wanted to appeal more to adults, but then they got panicky at the last minute and they cut a bunch of shit out of it. And it's like obvious. Like there's some jump cuts in the movie that are clearly not supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's just they cut out a bunch of scarier stuff, basically. So yep, that's true. And then Matt G is the next one. It's for Mandy, I think, actually.
Matt G for $2. Thank you. Like, oh my God, Mandy, what's this new Larry Potter series?
I'm sure we'll mention that. We probably won't have much time to go through everything, but yeah, there isn't much to know about it. But yeah, I'm sure we're going to try and talk about that here in a few minutes. We are running very short on fucking time, though. This is taking us much longer than we thought.
Yeah.
Null White is the next one.
I think that's Jane.
Jane.
Okay.
It's right on the screen.
Oh, no, why for $2? This is a personal diff in real life.
He was talking about that during the Twitter bits, so I think I think they're referring to that.
Okay. So for Matt G for $2, thank you. Tom, you doing Mead Radio later? Back to the Future soundtrack. LOL.
We'll see. Maybe in the morning. I need some sleep. We'll see. But we'll see on that. I am due for some Mead Radio. And then Stephen Otten says $5.
Okay. I still want Tom to do the entire show as Plinkett.
Careful what you wish for.
Thank you, Stephen.
All right, now we are caught up. So let's quickly get through these other topics real quick. Sorry about that.
So I'm going to go really quick with this, you guys. Those of you who have been waiting for the new Dragon's Age 4, we got to wait until, I think it's April 2022. But they have finally, let it slip in their new book, BioWare's Stories and Secrets from 25 Years of Game Developing, that this game will be, in fact, take place in Tevinter. That is going to be the main area. So as you know, we found most of us knew about this if you played the Trespasser expansion for Dragon's Age Inquisition. We kind of knew where this was leading. We knew that Solus, we know that he is the Dread Wolf, and the Dread Wolf is going to rise, which is freaking awesome. We know that the Red Lyrium item is going to come into play, the one that you found in Dragon's Age 2 when you were playing the Champion of Kirkwall. We know that Varric is coming back. So there's a lot of things that, has been being released as time goes on, but they are back in production of this game. They are saying April 2022 it is going to come out, and you guys, we are going to get to do all of that dark mage shit that we've been wanting to do with Dragon's Age, because in Tevinter that's going to happen. That's the big thing from there, and this will be the first time, we've heard about it in the lore with Dorian and stuff from Inquisition. So we do know about all the dark mages and stuff like that. So I think this is awesome news. I think this is going to be amazing. I've been waiting forever to get to go to Tevinter with my character. So I think this is going to be absolutely awesome, you guys. But yeah, we've most of us that have been playing the game kind of knew, but yeah, blood magic is evil now. It is. Blood magic is evil, but we are going to get a lot of that. The picture that they're showing, there is a red lyrium everywhere. So I think we're going to get a lot of new monsters. I think this is going to be absolutely amazing. So, and I know BioWare did us a really, really, really dirty with Andromeda. And honestly, a little bit with Inquisition, but I have my fingers crossed. I have a lot of faith that they're going to get it right this time. They're going to put more care into the development of the characters, which is what they had promised they were going to do. So, yeah, now we just get to sit back and wait for this badass game to come out, you guys. And I'm so freaking stoked.
When is it supposed to come out?
April 2022, maybe. Not before then, though, because they had to... They had fights with EA. I mean, this has been going on for 6 years now. We've been waiting on this game, really. So they've been going, EA wanted them to make it where it was online at some point. And then, BioWare was like, I don't know if we can do that with this. And so this has been a game in the making for 6 years now. That was the last time, Dragon's Age came out. You guys in the chat don't like Dragon's Age. Y'all are crazy. But no, I think it's going to be good. I have my fingers crossed that BioWare is going to get this one right. I'm definitely going to play it. So I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be awesome, and I have been waiting a long time for it to enter. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yep, that's really it, you guys. There not much else is known. If you want to know more, I guess we could pick up the BioWare Stories and Secrets book that came out. I haven't picked it up, but you know, I don't know. Maybe it's going to be good. I know a lot of us are like BioWare because of what they keep doing. But God help me, I got to be positive about something, and this is what I'm going to put it into right now. Is they're not going to mess it up. They're going to do good. We hope. Fingers crossed.
All right.
And yeah, that's pretty much the spiel on that one. We got hopes.
Cool. Hopefully they won't pull a cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, BioWare has been the past couple of years. They're not the same as they were when they originally came out with the original Dragon's Age Origins. But I keep hoping, you know, like I said earlier, I keep hoping that this shit's not going to carry out forever, that eventually these companies are going to kind of realize, hey, we're losing money and we don't have to take things and put more into their games. So I'm hoping it'll be beautiful either way. At least BioWare makes pretty games. They sometimes suck, but at least they're usually we'll get prettiness if not, and we get all that awesome. It's going to be very dark with the red lyrium everywhere, and so yeah, fingers crossed.
But I mean, after Cyberpunk, I don't think fans of these games should ever rush the developers again.
That should have never happened in the first place.
No.
But somebody wanted a bonus or whatever and decided to rush it, and that's just, that should not have freaking happened.
No.
Yeah. I'm hoping they don't do that with this one. They have all that kind of guaranteed, those that are on the inside, that they are, you know, they are listening. Now, of course, they've told us this before, though, right? But they do claim that they heard us when we complained about some of the things we did not like with Inquisition. They said they heard us. They're going to fix it. They're promising this game is going to be more beautiful than all of them because they are running it on a different, whatchamacallit. So they're using a different thing to run it. So I don't know. I keep hoping again that they're just going to be like, you know, they're going to get their shit together. BioWare as a whole will get their shit together. Yes, Game Engine. Thank you, Kevin. I'm blank, but yes, on a new Game Engine for this one. So, yeah. So right now, what we do know though is, you know, it's going to be into winter. There is a Kunari attack on the rise, and the Inquisition is going to be out there trying to stop the Dreadwolf, who was one of your companions within Inquisition. So it should be interesting. They do have the comics now that will give you a little bit more of a in-depth of what's going on in Theta, in the whole world of Theta. So with any luck, it's going to be good.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome. Well, at least Dragon Age is getting some love in the chat. I'm not really aware of it, but I'm not a big, huge gamer, so I'm glad there's people who are interested in the topic. So that's awesome.
Okay.
There you go.
Hey.
Was there anything anybody else had to add about Dragon Age?
No.
Nothing
I think I might be the only one that played it.
Like I said,
That's all right, though.
I think I
You're
have
not alone.
heard. Yeah, I think I've heard of it. Some folks in the chat may have heard of it. That's
I was
right.
gonna say, it's getting some love in the chat.
Cool.
And no,
Okay,
Samurai,
good.
fans didn't rush the game. Obviously, the developers did, but fans were saying, drop it. Because I was one of them.
I said some love, Christopher.
Yeah, Christopher is obviously not
And
one.
have everybody like everything. That's just not how that
Well,
works.
I mean, I did not like, I'll be honest, I didn't like Inquisition. I thought it was very poorly done as compared to Dragon's Age 1 and 2. So, Philip, if there were slut dragons, that would be great, wouldn't it? Slut dragons, Rick and Morty's great. I love that.
I love this girl. She's into dinosaurs. She's into geek shit. She said critters and ghoulies. Come on.
those are good movies, right? Those are the good ones. So yeah, I didn't like the third one either. You know, I liked it better than I did Andromeda though. Mass Effect was oh my God, I couldn't even make it through that one. At least I made it through Inquisition. I couldn't even make it through Andromeda. So
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right.
All right. And we didn't get any super chats in the meantime. So unless there's anything else to add, I say we jump to our final story real quick.
Okay.
Since there isn't a whole lot to go on here, I don't think this will take too long. So
No, this is pretty much a rumor that popped up. And but the interesting part about this is that again, we're talking about something that is going direct to streaming. So according to the Hollywood Reporter, Harry Potter live action TV series in early development at HBO Max. I don't know how much of a demand there is for this. And I like the Harry Potter movies. I was cool with movies 1 through 7. I did not watch Fantastic Beasts because none of that really interested me.
that's what that's where my question for this comes from for you ladies, since I'm obviously way out of the loop. The kind of Harry Pothead I am is nothing to do with being a Harry Potter fan. Let's put it this way. Like, do you guys think this is going to be a reboot series? Like they're going to start from the start? Do you think this is going to be some kind of spin-off? What do you think they're going to do here if this is real?
HBO, and I think they say it later in the article, did respond that this is not in development. They
then this is basically a non-story. Okay.
But
yeah.
If it were, I think it would be a reboot, and there's no telling what they would do with these characters. I doubt it would be anywhere near as good as the films.
No, and that's my thing. I don't. Oh, go ahead, Mandy.
I was just I love Harry Potter. I've read all the books. I've read, I've seen all the movies. I'm into Harry Potter, right? I don't know what they could possibly do with this, because what I loved about Harry Potter was Harry, Hermione, and Ron. Those were the main characters. Those were the ones I fell in love with. After the Cursed Child, but they ruined the adult characters of these. They just absolutely dropped trowel and took a big deuce right on top of these characters they created with their fan fiction that they didn't tell you as fan fiction until, you don't read the damn book and realize it was shit. So if they do, I don't want to see any other actors play these children. They are now adults. I don't want to see them as adults. And I don't think there's going to be a big, I hope that, what's her name? The author gets
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. I hope she gets a small fortune, and I hope she's sitting over there counting them bucks as the haters come at her. And, but yeah, personally, I love Harry Potter, and I'm not that interested in this.
No, I mean, this here, it just looks like it's your typical, it's a Hollywood Reporter. And when they say sources tell that the Hollywood Reporter that executives have had a series of meetings with writers with the goal of bringing the blockbuster franchise to television. I don't think it's something you can even really bring to TV. And again, Mandy, like you were saying, it's like, they're adults. I don't really want to see them as adults, because of the mythos around the Harry Potter story was seeing how they progressed and grew each year, unless you start off with some new crop of people. And I don't
like their children, maybe.
Well, what I was thinking was, if it wasn't for the Fantastic Beasts being in production still, I would think they would just completely remake and reinvent it, like start from the start, like have a whole new set of kids, start from the first book, but do it as a TV series instead of a movie series. That would be my guess.
Now, what they could do, and if they're smart, this is what they would do. Those of us that loved Harry Potter, they're during Goblet of Fire, when all the other schools came in, and they had the school with all the really the witches,
Beauxbaton and Durmstrang.
Yes. Now, if they did a show where it was focusing on those schools and not so much on actually Hogwarts, I might be like, okay, it's the same world, it's new kids, so I don't expect to see them. I might bite with that, but I think that would be the only way they could get me to get excited. I don't want to see Hogwarts anymore. I've seen it. I'm done. But like I said, if you took me to that school where the witches were, where it was all the girls and they're floating and they're so cute, I would watch that. And I would watch the same with the Viking type guys. So
yeah. So if they go to like Bobaton or they go to Durmstrang, I could see that, because again, it's like the progression of the kids as they go through each year. But yeah, Hogwarts, they already trashed it. It's just I'm not really interested in seeing that. And this is probably yet another case, and it happens a lot, where they'll float something out here, or an idea of it, and to see if it catches fire. And the fact that it said HBO Max, that's what piqued my interest, because it's like, okay, yet again, we're talking about a streaming platform.
I mean, it caught fire because on Twitter, all they could talk about was how they hated J.K. Rowling.
I did see that. I did see that.
Oh God, I did call the Bulgarians Vikings, didn't I?
You did.
I did do that. I
tried to cover it up.
What the hell did she ever do, really, that was so transphobic? Seriously, like I guess I didn't keep up with that because I don't give a shit about her, but like they are so like pissed at her.
I think she had said something to the effect of, was it that she'd, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this. I think she'd said that basically that trans women weren't, it's like women weren't the same as trans women. Like she wasn't saying no disrespect, but they're not the same. And she just didn't really feel like biological femininity should be diminished by acknowledging transgender women as women. And because she said that, they went in on her. And they went calling her transphobic and all that, like ever.
Oh, because she said there's only two genders. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say this, but just because you lop it off, you're not going to instantly get your period or be able to have children. But I mean,
if there's cramps kicking your ass, you might think twice about being a woman.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Men couldn't handle it.
No, y'all are babies. Y'all babies.
We actually had to deal with scheduled pain and blood leaking out of our body for days. We would freak the fuck out.
That is true. I believe that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. They
stranger things have wound up cropping up. So
yeah, I honestly, when I first heard about The Mandalorian, I wasn't that excited about it. I was just kind of like, oh, I wonder how they're going to mess this up. It's kind of how I went into it. And then I gave it a chance, and I really enjoyed it. So, I would go into this very, very not expecting much out of it. Like I said, they totally bent me over with the cursed child. So I felt totally ripped off after I read that book. So,
Jane, any last thoughts?
I mean, I think there's so many of these magic schools on television right now. We don't really need another one. I'm kind of over the concept, honestly.
Oh no, I'll never get over the concept of witches and wizards, and so I'm down with that. But
I don't know about this. If Warner's denying it, though, I wouldn't count on it. But you guys are probably right. If anything, it might be a spin-off show where it's about some of the other schools. They might have like one of the kids come back as like a teacher somewhere or something like that. And that'd be about
and that would probably work. That would at least get me interested enough to where I would give it a chance. But if they come back with it, oh, it's in Hogwarts and Voldemort's back, I'm just gonna be like, nah,
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm totally out.
What if they did it, but with older kids, like a darker version of it?
At Hogwarts,
like the Magicians, basically, but with these kids.
It might work. I think it just depends on how good the story is. And two, that they don't make the mistake that Lucasfilm is doing and not paying attention to the Harry Potter canon. Because if they start violating that, we got problems.
Yes, and believe me, there are Harry Potter fans that know that freaking canon. I don't know that any of them know them as much as Laura knows her Star Wars shit, but because I've never seen a girl with a library like that in her head. But no, they're going to have to stick with canon. They are going to have to. I don't think they can pull back Hogwarts. I don't think they can. I don't think they're going to get the numbers of people that are willing to do it again. If they do another school, though, I think this could work. Yeah. And I even think doing it where the kids are a little bit older instead of starting them off as like first years. You could start them off a little bit older, but still a part of what people loved about Harry Potter was that, like Lorena said, the progression of watching them grow up, watching, because it's really lighthearted at the beginning and then just gets worse.
I like that. Heathers plus Hogwarts, because I love the movie Heathers. Yeah, I could rock with that.
Yeah.
I could so rock with that. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep an eye on this just to see, what develops. Could be nothing, it could be something, but
yeah, because what HBO said was it wasn't in development, right?
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't in development.
But,
Just something that's floating around. They say
the Hollywood Reporter just said they're just having meetings talking about the story, so that doesn't mean anything's in development. It just means it's in the planning phases. That could be very true. And so we'll probably follow this as it keeps going, if there's more to this or not. But I guess for now we need to stress that Warner is denying this. So.
Yes, it's just a rumor.
You're a wizard, Harry. Okay, we got a couple of super chats while we were doing the story. Looks like 4 of them there, besides the one that we did address on screen at the time. So if you guys want to grab those real quick.
Okay, let's see. Valiant Renegade for $2. Played Dragon Age Origins, waiting for Diablo 4.
Diablo 4 is gonna fix that shit. I'm excited about that. As long as they don't do pay to play, and I've heard that they're not going to, since they did it in 3 and it was a huge disaster and they got rid of it. They put an auction house in that you're paying with real cash, though. I'm out. I'm out. That's why I never played the third one. So, but I am excited for that too. Oh, it's my turn, ain't it? Silver Nova for 5 Australian. Thank you so much. Great show, ladies, and Tom from One Toxic Silver Male. Aww.
Thank you.
Very cool.
All right. Noel White for $2. Heathers meets Hogwarts. Just saying.
Yep.
Yep.
That would pull me in.
I mean, definitely.
Just not Gossip Girl meets Hogwarts. Let's not do that.
No, just it's like make it like you may make it like dark, like
Yes,
making potions like make people disappear and throw up what they ate and whatnot. Valiant Renegade for $2. Harry comes back as an Auror. That's it.
Now they could do a lot of cool shit with that too. They could literally make a really good show where he's running around trying to figure out who the Dark Wizard is doing bad shit. And it could be like, I don't know, like a Law and Order type show where it's literally, or Sherlock Holmes type thing where he's literally going around trying to solve who's doing these crimes.
Yeah.
That would be okay. I would watch it. Again, that's an idea that would make me give it a chance at least. So yeah, that could work.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all the super chats we have, Tom. Unless.
No, I think that's all of them. Like I said, the other one that we didn't address right now is one we did get at the time it came up. So I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. You guys have been a great crowd. We appreciate you being here. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do this. We actually had a really good crowd tonight. At one point, we had over 500 people watching. Thank you so much. Considering we're on a list, that's pretty good. We're on a lot of lists, but anyway.
Yeah. It happens.
I'm sure you heard about that lovely list we're on. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Let's go around the horn real quick. Jane, tell them a little bit about yourself and your channel.
Yes, you can find me here on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and some pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jane Theory.
And yes, we did get one for space herpes. I totally missed that one. That was my fault. Sorry about that, Hillis. Yes, I did miss that one. So hopefully I didn't miss any others. Let me know real quick if I did. And anyway, was there anything left for you to plug, Jane? Or
Nope.
all right, Mandy, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm Mandy Summers. I'm the creator of the comic book The Wizard, also Pirate Queen, also Super Dead. You can find me on my YouTube channel at Mandy Summers. And now I'm curious, are space herpes worse than normal herpes?
Oh,
It seems
That's
like it would. It seems like
interesting
space,
question.
yeah, it seems like space herpes would be a lot worse.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
A lot worse.
Tom seems very secure in that. Oh yeah, oh yeah, baby. Those
You do not want space herpes.
but yes, you guys, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Mandy Summers, and yeah, don't forget to check out my book, Pirate Queen, that is available right now on Indiegogo. So yeah.
Yeah. And we got one more from Trace XL. He says, with $10, I'll do this one. In the wizarding justice system, there are two distinct groups, the council who tries crimes and the auroras who investigate. These are the stories. Dun, dun, dun. There you go. Oh, I should have done that in my announcer voice, shouldn't I? In the wizarding justice system, there are two distinct groups, the council who tries crimes and the auroras who investigate. These are their stories. Dun, 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 like Dragnet. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Oh, I love it.
It's Dragnet. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, folks, for hanging out with us. We appreciate it as always. And Lorena, tell them real quick about yourself before we go.
Hey everybody, I'm Lorena Creole. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Minds. You can find me on Instagram. And of course, you can find me on YouTube tomorrow at 12 noon. And what? Oh, like
he says Law and Order. He says, see, I'm old. I was thinking of Dragnet and shit.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I used to watch it. My brain.
That's what he's doing.
Tomorrow at 12 noon, my interview, mine and Fat Steven Seagal's interview with the Gospel According to Mark with a C, will premiere on my channel, 12 noon Eastern. Please come and check that out. And thanks you guys for being here.
Yes, I boomered the Law and Order. Guess what? I never really watched Law and Order.
How have you not watched a lot
I've
of Law
seen
and
it, but I don't
watched
fucking
it when
pay
ICE was in.
That to me is like shit that like one of my girlfriends would have on or some shit. I don't watch that kind of crap. I don't have time for that shit. I'm stuck watching Star Trek Discovery.
yeah.
Terrible.
I know, right? I ain't got time for good shit except for Cobra Kai. I will make time for Cobra Kai. I don't care. And I got to give these ladies a maximum effort puppy. I'm going to give them a Journey puppy.
Yay!
And I'm even going to give them, where is it? Well, our little beagle puppy. There we go.
There he is.
They did a great job tonight. And hopefully Mary's internet problems are clearing up, so that won't be an issue next time. So we miss her a lot this time, but we want to thank Jane for coming in clutch as always. And
Yes, thanks, Jane.
Oh, thank you for having me.
yes, and thank you for being here. And don't forget to check out the store for those lovely Toxic Femininity t-shirts that Stephanie was asking about earlier. You can find them there. And yes, as Sanders says, go puppy go. And just for Mary, let's do a Fenton on the way out the door here.
Yay!
Jesus Christ! Fenton! Oh, Jesus Christ! Fenton!
I love that.
Little classic Fenton there. Thanks again, folks, for joining us on the one, the only Toxic Femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge.
Proving that the Fandom Menace isn't just toxic white males.
And we got one from Vigilante
It's
Renegade
Toxic
coming in that says,
Femininity,
blame
brought to you
Andre
by
for Discovery. That is right.
Midnight's Edge.
Blame Andre. Thank you so much, Valiant Renegade. I said Vigil. Yeah, I said it wrong. My bad. Take care, guys. Have